Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Old Bridge Township June 9th, 2026 Old Bridge Township Council meeting. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance. Please remain standing for a moment of silence and for our prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As customary in this chamber, we stand for a moment for those who are protecting our freedoms, both here and abroad, for our first responders, for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice, and for everyone suffering around the world. A moment of silence, please. Our prayer, Mr. Pescity.
Dear Lord, bless thy servants in the ministry of public affairs who serve you in this chamber. Give us quiet minds and hearts that we may hear your voice. Help us to know when to speak, when to be silent. Give us strength to oppose the wrong and uphold the right. And grant that we have a good conscience and soul at peace with thee and with one another. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please be seated.
Roll call, Council President.
Thank you.
Councilman Asatuli.
Present.
Councilman De Palma.
Here.
Let the record reflect that Councilman Desai is absent.
Shocked.
Councilman Merwin.
Present.
Councilman Pasquitti. Here. Councilman Rizzoli.
Here.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Here.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Present. And Council President Sohar.
I'm here, thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the meeting. I would like to make one announcement before we go into the body of the meeting. Before we begin tonight's meeting, a brief announcement regarding an item that appears on the evening's agenda concerning data centers. I want to be clear that there are currently no applications before the Township Council, Planning Board, or Zoning Board for the development of any data center within Old Bridge Township. Furthermore, the township is not actively considering or pursuing any data center projects at this time. The purpose of tonight's discussion is simply to provide information and allow for a general policy discussion regarding data centers. No specific project, proposal, or application is being reviewed or considered by the township. Should any such proposal ever be submitted in the future, it would be subject to the appropriate public review process, including opportunities for public input and comment. Thank you, and we look forward to a productive meeting this evening.
This meeting is being held in conformance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Notice has been given to the official newspapers of the township on January 8, 2026, and has been posted in public places. Next open public meeting of the Township Council will be held on Tuesday, June 23rd, 2026 at 7:30 p.m.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next will be approval of minutes. A resolution approving regular combined council meeting minutes of April 28th, 2026, and May 5th, 2026, and the executive session meeting minutes of April 28th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
Move it.
Second.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Asatuli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman De Palma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next will be our bill list. Councilman De Palma.
Thank you. Bill list as of June 9, 2026. Accounts payable, June 9, 2026, $4,184,526.41. Payroll, May 22nd, 2026, $1,344,182.51. Payroll overtime, May 22nd, 2026, $25,283.90. Payroll, June 5th, 2026, $1,340,689.75, and payroll overtime June 5th, 2026, $32,379.95. That is all.
Okay, thank you. Anna, do we have a breakdown of the overtime, please?
Yes, thank you. There were no major upticks on the May 22nd overtime. The sworn police officer overtime for that period was $12,787.20. Deduct ETO, $3,046.66. Deduct accreditation, $1,999.65, for a total of $7,740.89. For the June 5th overtime, we did have a bit of an uptick due to the Memorial Day Parade. Also, the sworn police overtime for that payroll was $18,996.68. Deduct grants, $638.57. Deduct ETO, $3,298.58, for a total of $15,059.53. And we currently have 2 officers on light duty and 2 officers injured on duty. And this concludes my report.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anna. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Von Stetten, second by Councilman DePalma. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses, motion carries.
Next will be public hearing and adoption for ordinance for second reading. First one is H1, ordinance amending the code of the Township of Old Bridge, specifically Article 8, daycare program 160-30. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Ordinance amending Chapter 273. This is a rough crowd. 273 of the Township Code entitled Lunch Wagons. Okay, does anybody, I'm going to open it to the public. Do I have a motion to open?
Move it.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Von Stetten. All in favor?
Okay, we're open to the public. Is there anyone in the public who wishes to be heard on H1? Okay, seeing no hands, I'll ask for a motion to close the public portion.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Rizzoli. Who second? By Councilman DePalma.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're now closed to public comment portion.
Okay, now is there anyone on my left who has a question about H1, a comment? Anyone on my right? Okay, seeing no hands, I'll ask for a motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Asatuli, second by Councilman DePalma. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli,
Yes.
Councilman DePalma,
Yes.
Councilman Merwin. Yes. Councilman Pasquitti,
No.
Councilman Rizzoli,
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
7 yeses, 1 no, motion carries.
Okay, next will be H2, ordinance amending now the code of the Township of Old Bridge, specifically Article 8, daycare program 160-30, fees for before and after school care program. Good evening, how are you this evening? Okay.
Good evening, Council. Thank you for having us here tonight. I'm Matt Mercurio. I'm in charge of Parks, Recreation, and Social Services. With me tonight is Jillian Dwyer. She is the manager of our Before Care and After Care program, as well as our full-day summer camp program. We are proposing fee adjustments for the 2026-2027 school year after our first full year of analysis. Our goal was to determine sustainable and equitable rates for our before and after care programs. Just as a note, our program is 100% self-sustaining. It is not funded by the municipal tax base at all. Jillian was promoted to manager of our program back in 2024 and raised some questions about how our before and after care rates were determined and updated. Since the 2024-25 rates were already set at that point, Jillian carried out a full year analysis of rates this year, looking at our programs for the entire 10-month school year of 180 calendar days, closely looking at enrollment, revenue, and expenditures. We had an average of 400 participants enrolled in our program per month. Enrollment numbers for this school year are in Before Care. We had estimated 64 children who make up 16% of our program. For Aftercare, we had 106 children, which make up 26.5% of our program, 26.5%. And our combo of both before and aftercare had 230 students, which was 57.5% of our program. Some of the things that are unique to our program include, but are not limited to the large scale of our program. We operate in all 11 elementary schools within the township, all public schools. Like I said before, it is fully self-sustaining. There are no upfront registration charges. Some people will charge you $100 just for the right to be able to register. We don't charge that. We do not have wait lists. We do not charge more for half days, which could be an additional 2 hours. We are a fully inclusive program. If there are participants in our program, some may require one-on-one paraprofessionals or a nurse. We do not charge those participants extra for that. Just to give you guys a quick breakdown, the cost to have one nurse in our program for a child. For before care only, that cost would be $18,000. A parent in before care only pays $2,700 for the entire year. If we need a nurse in the aftercare only, that cost to us would be $27,000. That's not counting any half days in there. Obviously, with the half days, those hours go up. And an aftercare parent would pay $4,320 for the 10 months. If we needed a nurse in before and aftercare combo, that would cost us a minimum of $45,000, and that would not include half days where obviously that cost would go up. If you're a combo parent, you're paying $5,040 for the entire year. If we have a paraprofessional in our program and a para is needed one-on-one for a child in before care only, the cost to us for that para would be $7,560, where the parents would pay for that same program $2,700. If we needed a para for one-on-one child care for aftercare only, that would be a minimum of $11,340 that we would pay, and the parent's cost would still stay at $4,320. And if we needed a one-on-one paraprofessional for before and aftercare combo, that minimum that we would pay that paraprofessional would be $18,900, not counting half days. That would go up, and the combo parents would still pay $5,040, so their rate would not change depending on if they needed extra care for their child. We are state licensed through the New Jersey Department of Children and Families. Each program holds its own license, which requires annual upkeep, monitoring to ensure we remain in compliance with state requirements to uphold each license. Requirements include, but are not limited to, employee background checks, fingerprints, carry checks, additional testing prior to working for this specific program. At least 2 staff members per site need to be CPR and first aid training, and we do additional training that is funded by our program. The New Jersey Department of Children and Families has online training for our supervisory staff. We have monitoring reports are performed throughout the school year to ensure safeguards and practices are being properly carried out. Because we are state licensed, if there's participants that are in difficult financial times, they can apply through the state to get that subsidized, and that is one of our major things that helps us. We are licensed, so we have that avenue that they go to a third party, and then that third party pays us for their child to participate in our state license program. Other programs nearby operate on a much smaller scale, sometimes through a third party and/or operate in their own facility outside of the schools, such as a YMCA or a JCC or something like that. There may be contracts or agreements with the Board of Education or a third-party company to manage such programs. A few unknowns. The cost of health benefits for 2027, as the school year obviously falls between the township's fiscal year. Potential unknowns on our minimum wage increase. For instance, in 2026, the minimum wage increase was announced in October of 2025. Our rates for 2025 and 2026 were already set at that point. The needs of the children are frequently changing. The potential for additional support via a nurse or a one-on-one para are not always known during the original registration period in August, and may not be known until we have that child in our care, or they may be looking for certain resources. Paraprofessionals and a nurse do not count towards our state mandated staff to student ratio. Other things to note, we're actively working with Dr. Sasso and the Board of Education when it comes to janitorial and security costs to see if those costs can be reduced. Currently, our hard operating costs before salary and wages are about $40,000 a month. That includes our joint insurance fund costs, workers' compensation, health benefits, pension, Social Security, janitorial and facility usage, food supply, program supplies, and unemployment insurance. Please note that the school security comes out of the salary and wages line, and that averages about $36,000 per month across all of our sites. This is an ongoing process. This was our first year, but this is an analysis that Jillian and myself and the entire department are going to continue to do again for this upcoming school year. So based on our enrollment and revenues from this year, as well as our expenditures, we propose the following monthly rates for the 2026-2027 school year, based on the 180 days, 10-month school year. If you're 1 to 3 day enrollments, you would average about 16 days per month. If you were a 4 to 5 day enrollment, you would average about 18 days per month. So how our program operation, before care is operated for 2 hours each day. After care is operated for 3 hours. There's no extra charge for the additional 2 hours for half days. Obviously, I feel like there's more half days now than there was when a lot of us in this room were kids. And our combo is obviously for 5 hours. It's the before care 2 hours plus the after care for 3 hours. So 5 hours total, and there is no additional charge for the 2 hours of half days. So our fee breakdown that we proposed was for before care only. It would be $7.50 per hour. So if you were doing the 1 to 3 day before care, you would pay $240 per month. That was $320 this past September, and we lowered that, as you recall, in February to $290. So it's a 17.24% decrease from February, but if you go back to what we were charging in the beginning of the 25 school year, it's a 25% decrease for the before care 1 to 3 days. The 4 to 5 days for before care, we're proposing $270 for the 4 to 5 days. That's per month. That was $340 in September, and we came in front of council and got that lowered to $310 in February. So the decrease from February until now reflects a 12.9% decrease. If we go back to what we were charging last beginning of the school year for 2025, that's a 20.6% decrease. Aftercare only will be $8 per hour at 3 hours, no additional charge for half days. For 1 to 3 days of aftercare only, that would be $384. That would be an increase of 6.7% from last year. Our 4 to 5 day program, we're proposing $432 a month. That is a 10.8% increase from last year. Our before and after care combo, we are looking at $5.60 per hour at 5 hours a day. For 1 to 3 days, that rate would be $448. That reflects a 12% increase. And at 4 to 5 days, that rate would be $504, and that shows a 12% increase from last year. I just want to note that Jillian has worked extremely hard on this entire program since she started here. Like I said, she is the manager of our before care and after care program, and obviously our always popular full-day summer camp, so I would be remiss if I didn't say all the hard work and hours that Jillian has put into this program.
Thank you very much. That was a very good presentation. Does anyone on the council have a question? Mr. Rizzoli?
I don't have a question. I want to thank you for the detailed explanation. Because when you speak to people, you get different stories. That's why I'm glad you really came up and broke it down into specific details. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, that was a very good presentation. Anyone else?
No, I would like to say also thank you for all the work that the whole team puts into this effort. And it's not easy, especially when wages keep on going up the rate they do, and healthcare. But I know you're doing the best that you can, and I hope that people understand that and appreciate it. Thank you for that discussion and presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, Anna, would you like to add anything?
Before you open up to
Yep.
public hearing, I do want to say that Matt and Jillian worked hard every month, and as well as Jillian's staff, Diane and Richard. This is obviously an ongoing process. We work closely with the school as well. As Matt indicated, we've been actively speaking with Dr. Sasso, and we're going to be working with them to see how we can make this even more affordable in the future for our parents, because obviously this is almost a joint venture with them. So we want to bring them into the fold as well and see how we can cut costs but still have a sustainable program that makes sense for everybody. So we'll continue those conversations with Dr. Sasso. He's been involved since he came in. And as Matt indicated, specifically when it comes to janitorial services and school security services, we're going to see where there's overlaps, so that way there's not two costs being incurred by either them or us. So hopefully that will continue to grow. And, it's hard to plan for programs like this. We do have the biggest unknowns that Matt mentioned, unfortunately, are the most costly unknowns, the health benefits increases, the minimum wage increases. So we kind of have to foreshadow what could happen. But I think that this is bringing the program in line to make more sense the way that it's being calculated. And then it will just continue. We will keep doing better, as that is always our goal with anything that we do. And I appreciate Matt and Jillian's time in working on this.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think it's very important that we do keep continuing to try to do the best we can for our children and the before and after care. It's a very big component of the town, and we really appreciate you taking the time and the effort to try to find the best way for everyone. And to Dr. Sasso, thank you for also now being part of this equation with us. This is very, very positive. So thank you all. I need a motion to open to the public, please.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Von Stetten. All in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing is now open.
Right. Anyone in the public wish to come up and be heard on this particular topic? Yes, ma'am. That question and answer, though. We just want you to be able to be
They're only working like 5 or
heard.
6 hours a day. That's a part-time job. So why are we giving benefits and pension and health insurance to health part-timers when?
No, it's not for part-timers. We do have 3 full staff members, so Jillian,
You're the
Richard, and
ones that are
Diane.
getting the health, okay?
correct.
Because the way you
Nope,
said
no,
it,
no,
it didn't
no.
make sense, and I couldn't
Yes.
understand why we're giving health benefits
No,
to somebody
I
else.
appreciate that
No,
clarification.
no, it's a valid
That's a very
question.
good question,
And the
yes. Thank
10%
you.
increase, I mean, even the longshoremen didn't get 10%. So
Yeah.
I just want to know why 10%. Like, that seems kind of high for working parents. You put them in daycare because you can't afford to stay home with them. And to put that kind of increase after we just got hit with the school taxes this year. I mean, my grandchildren don't go to daycare, so I don't really know what you're paying or how much or whatever. But I just thought that was kind of high. And of course, the pension and benefits. Those were my 2 questions.
Thank you.
Ma'am, could you just state your name for the record, please?
Joan Habinowski, Habinowski.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to come up and be heard on this topic? No? Okay, then I will ask for a motion to close public portion.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Asatuli. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're now closed the public hearing.
Okay, so I will ask the council for a motion.
Moved by Councilman Von Stetten, second by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all very
Thank you
much.
very much.
We appreciate all the work that you do. Thank you. Next will be H3, ordinance approving the financial agreement for BH Manzo Boulevard Urban Renewal, LLC. Yeah, see him. Well, you could try. Is this attorney for Manzo? Is there anyone here? No. Okay, all right. Where are their seats? In the back over there?
There's a couple
Yeah,
over
there's a few
here.
seats up here if anyone wants to sit. Okay?
If we can kind of scoot down to let people sit that are standing in the back, that would be appreciated if you have an open seat next to you.
Okay, all right. So it's an ordinance approving the financial agreement for BH Manzo Boulevard Urban Renewal LLC.
You said that.
Any questions from the council before I open it to the public? Anybody? Okay. Then I need a motion to open to public.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Pasquitti. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, public hearing is now open.
Okay, is there anyone who'd like to be heard on this particular item? Okay, seeing no hands, then I'll close public portion and go to council. Do we have a motion?
A motion to close.
Yeah, motion to close, yes.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, a second by Councilman De Palma. All in favor? Aye. Hearing none. Any opposed? We're now closed to public hearing.
Right, and we'll ask for a motion.
Move it.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Pasquitti. Roll call. Councilman Asatuli? Yes. Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
And Council President Sohar?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is H4, ordinance providing for a special emergency appropriation pursuant to NJSA 40A:4-53B in the amount of $4 million for the preparation of a complete program of reevaluation of real property. I'd like to make a motion to open to public.
Move it.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Asatuli. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the public hearing is now open.
Anyone in the public wish to be heard on this particular item? Good evening.
Marke. I was just curious, why does it cost $4 million to do the reassessment? And then why is it required? And then, what are the options instead of doing the reassessment and paying $4 million? And how do we pay this back?
Thank you. So the revaluations is mandated by the state and the county. So this was, I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I wasn't here then, 2017, 2018, it was originally ordered. So we have been able to delay it, and then obviously COVID happened and things like that. But now, late at the end of '25, the county tax assessor came and told us that we had to get this done, otherwise the state would impose it on us, and if they impose it on us, it would probably cost more to do it. So we have started the process. Unfortunately, it does cost that much because it's an outside firm that comes in and do the assessment of all the properties. So it is something that is costly. So we.
And how do you come up with that number, or how does that firm come up with that number? What's entailed?
So
in
this is
the
a rough
valuation?
number of what the average cost is. It could be a little less. Hopefully, it's not high. Once we have this emergency appropriation in place, then we'll be going out for bid, and then we'll see what the bid comes back. But at least we have this money allocated, so we're able to do it.
And this comes out of the general funds through taxes?
Don, can you explain that a little more? I have our CFO and the tax collector. She'll explain that a little better.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you for the question.
Thank you. As Anna had stated, and most of the council knows, we were ordered to reval back in 2017, but due to COVID, preparation of the tax maps, it's got delayed, so now we are finally at the point where the tax maps are almost ready. We will be putting a bid out to get a firm. From the assessor, he had reached out to other assessors and firms that do this. It's anywhere, and this information was actually from last year, $100 to $150 per line item. So that's per parcel. We currently have just under 22,000 line items in our tax duplicate. So that's kind of where that number came from. His estimate was between $3.5 million and $4 million it would cost. So we went with the higher number. Obviously, if we don't need it, we would cancel it, and that would be done. But with a special emergency, the reval falls under a special emergency where we're allowed to pay it back over 5 years. But yes, it would come from the taxpayer, the general fund.
Anyone else wish to be heard on this particular item? Good
Hi,
evening.
Bridget Lava. My concern is, why is this considered an emergency fund? My understanding is this is something that has to happen periodically, and is this something that should be built in? Again, you can't nail down an exact cost, but we've known this has been coming for years. It's going to happen again at some point in the future, and then again at some point in the future after that. Why is it an emergency versus something that would be planned for always?
Unfortunately, I don't have that answer for you. When I came in, I started the process on getting this done. As Dawn mentioned, it is a lengthy, long process. It is something that should be planned for, and after we get through this one, it would be ideal for future planning to start planning for these things. But I don't have that answer, but, yeah.
I think
is a good point.
it's because it's been more than 20 years, and now that the county issued this. They weren't doing it, and now they started it with towns all over. And actually, Old Bridge's one of the first towns that they're doing it with.
Our last reval was in the early 90s.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the public who wishes to come up and be heard?
Oh, you, buddy.
No? Okay, seeing no one, then I will ask to close public portion. A motion?
Move it. Second.
Moved by Councilman Von Stetten, second by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, we're now closed the public hearing portion.
Okay, next is ordinance for first reading, FR 1, wait, oh, wait.
To vote on it.
I got to vote on, I'm sorry, boy, I'm
It's okay.
having a good night here. Okay, do I have a motion?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Asatuli, second by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next is ordinance for first reading, FR 1, ordinance adopting the Trenton Square redevelopment plan and amending the township zoning map. Do I have a motion?
Point of order.
Yes.
Where is this?
Summers.
Where is this?
Don.
It's the Summers property?
Yeah, Summers property.
Summers.
Summers.
Summer, thank you.
No
Yep.
problem.
Wasn't in the backup?
Yeah,
Okay, no problem.
the plan is up, the plan is up on the website.
Okay, the plan is up on the website.
Right.
The plan is up on the website.
Is back up.
Yes, yeah, you can find it there. Okay. All right, so do I have a motion?
Second?
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli, second by Councilman Pasquitti. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin. Yes. Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries. Public hearing set for June 23rd, 2026.
Okay, next will be our consent agenda. I'd like to get a motion and a second, and then we'll go back for separations.
Motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Asatuli, second by Councilman Von Stetten. Councilman Asatuli, any items for separation?
No, thank you.
Councilman DePalma,
C6.
C6. Councilman Merwin,
Yes, I have,
Oh, wait.
well,
C12. Councilman Pasquitti,
13, please.
C13. Councilman Rizzoli,
C7.
C7. Councilman Von Stetten,
None, thank you.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli,
Thank you.
Council President Sohar.
Yes, C5 and C6, please.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call for the balance of the consent agenda with the removal of C6 C5, C6, C7, C12, and C13.
Okay, so C7 is Dave,
Yes.
and the other one?
C7 is Rizzoli, Mark
Okay.
Rizzoli.
And what about the other one?
Dave was C12.
Okay,
Councilman Pasquini was C13. And C6.
all right.
That one?
Yep.
So
that's
roll
the
call. Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes. Okay, next will be C5, and the reason why I separated this is it's a resolution calling upon the state of New Jersey, the New Jersey Department of Treasury, the New Jersey Legislature, healthcare regulators, insurance carriers, pharmacy benefit managers, and other appropriate entities to review and enact meaningful reform to address unsustainable public employee health care costs impacting municipal and school district budgets. This was put on this evening by the administration, and they would like to address this. It's a very important topic.
Thank you. So as I'm sure you all have heard, because this is not only affecting the public sector, but also the private sector, healthcare costs have just risen through the roof. We have felt it here at the Township. The Board of Education has also felt it. Private companies are also feeling it. And one of the things that we did this past year as the Township, in April, we switched over to a health insurance fund to try to alleviate a little bit of the costs. And we came out of the state health benefits program. Fortunately, the cost is still pretty high, even with the private insurance through the health insurance fund. So our administration has still very much actively working to see how we can reduce those costs for 27. In the meantime, though, we wanted to prepare this resolution to send up to the state to share the concerns that we have for the rising healthcare costs for us, for Board of Eds, for the public at large, private companies, and things like that. I don't know that it will do anything, but we have to try. Through the managers, the New Jersey Managers Association, later this summer, I will be meeting with members of the at the DCA also to speak about the concerns that municipalities have regarding rising healthcare costs, because it affects us, not just if you're in the state health benefits, but even if when you're in private health insurance. So we need the state and to work a little bit closer with the health insurance companies and see how we can alleviate those costs for everybody. This resolution is going to serve to show that we are very much trying to get something done. We'll continue fighting for it. I'll go to Trent if I need to. But I appreciate the council allowing me to put this resolution, and hopefully they will feel favorable in favor of this resolution so that I can get it sent to the parties mentioned on it. And we'll continue trying to come up with solutions and ways to make healthcare more affordable for our employees, the Board of Ed, and hopefully the public at large. So that's that. Thank you.
Very much. I think that's a very good initiative, and I really hope that everyone supports it. I'd like to make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Council President Sohar, second by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you all. Next is C6. I also separated that, a resolution opposing Williams Transco's Northeast Supply Enhancement Project, NESE. Again, this was asked by administration, and the administration would like to just give a brief overview of it.
Thank you. And I believe Eric, Councilman DePalma also had separated out too.
Yes, you did
Before
too,
I
right? Yep.
speak, Eric, did you want to say, did you?
Oh, please,
Okay,
Adam.
okay.
You go first.
So if you recall, last August, the members of the Sierra Club, I believe at the time, had came out to the council meetings to advise us that the pipeline project from Transco was still kind of moving forward. It had been resurrected. So at the time, I spoke with them. I also took the time to meet with Transco. I'm like, let me hear what they have to say about their project. So we did that. And after those meetings, we proposed a resolution back in August of '25 to oppose the project. There is no benefit to the New Jersey residents whatsoever, but they're coming through our state to get to where they need to go. I was recently informed by several people, as well as Councilman Merwin, that this was something that now had gotten approval at the federal levels, I believe also New York State approvals, and now is kind of lingering in New Jersey for their approvals. So this is reiterating what we passed last year, which was that we're in opposition of it. We took the resolution, we made it known that this really has no positive impact on the New Jersey residents. This is not going to help us. So we want to make it known that when they do come through our town to do this project, we are still opposing this. They're not going to come and ask for our opinion, but we want to make sure that they know that Old Bridge opposed this. So this is a similar resolution that we wanted to bring forward. We'll be sending it up to the governor's office if it is passed in favor this evening. And I appreciate council giving us the time, and also for Councilman Merwin who alerted us, but also for the Sierra Club who had reached out to me separately to also tell me that this was still actively going and if we can show support again. So talking with Mayor Walker, and we decided this would be good to show that we still oppose it. So
Mr.
that's where we are.
DePalma?
No, I was just going to reiterate what Anna said as well. I know last year we had a lot of conversations surrounding this, and the fact that it will be coming from Raritan Bay and ultimately through Old Bridge. We opposed it last year. We're opposing it again this year. Things like this shouldn't just go without not only the public, but also the public officials. We should have a say what happens through this town, right? Regardless of federal government, state government, local government should also, and the local residents should have a say whether or not we have I think it's a methane gas line, if I'm not mistaken, coming through. Yeah. So to have that coming through this town without us having a say and a seat at the table is ridiculous. And the fact that, this is why we're here to oppose this for now the second time in less than a year.
Mayor,
We need a motion.
Yes.
who are we addressing this to? It's my
Governor, the governor, it's going to the
Yes,
governor.
it's
Yep.
my understanding FERC already approved it, the New York DEP already approved it, and the New Jersey DEP already approved it.
Correct.
And the only one that can stop it is the governor.
Correct.
And we're just
And
reiterating,
I'm sure that would come with a very big legal expense if she did, but.
and we're just reiterating and reinforcing what we voted on for last year.
Right.
I just have to ask a question. Does anyone here know where New Jersey gets its natural gas from? Does it come through another place too, before it gets to New Jersey?
If it does, it doesn't come through that pipeline. Because this one's Rockaway to New Jersey.
To get the gas to New Jersey, how does it get to New Jersey?
From Texas all the way through all the other states up in us, we got a pumping station there on
Okay.
what do you call it?
So those
Waterworks
states agree
Road.
with them to go through their states to get gas to us, but we're not allowing or agreeing with gas to get to the part in New York where they have to get it.
No, it's not for New York.
Yeah, where's it going?
It's going to New England.
All right, to New England,
Yeah,
it has
yeah.
to go.
It's coming from Rockaway under the water.
But do you
through
understand
here.
what I'm
I
saying?
understand what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You have to be realistic. You have to get the gas from where it's available and get it to different sections of the United States. It's not that no one likes it, but it's the reality of the 2026. They have the gas.
Okay. All right. Yes, Mr. Pasquini?
Yeah, well, I'm going to vote no because I think we should be a team player, and we should be thinking about our neighbor 50 other, 49 other states that need pipelines, whether they come through or not. Now, should we get some money from the gas company? Yeah, I think we should get some money from them. But, being neighborly, I think we should approve it. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Nope. Okay, seeing no hands, then I'll ask for a motion.
Move it.
Moved by Councilman DePalma, second by Councilman Von Stetten. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma,
Yes.
Councilman Merwin,
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti,
No.
Councilman Rizzoli,
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten,
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli,
Abstain.
and Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. All right. So next is C7, Mr. Rizzoli.
Thank you, Council President. I think we all can agree preservation of open space is important, but this is a potential another tax on the residents. And under the current economy, we've had a municipal tax increase, Board of Ed tax increase, state mandated utilities tax increase. We've heard about healthcare, the cost of living, just the overall economy. You know, this would have been nice to revisit maybe next year. I do support it. I just think the timing, unfortunately, is not good. So I can't in good conscience support this. I think there's a lot of people out there struggling and probably couldn't afford another tax. You know, we all agree about open space, but at the end of the day, people's quality of life is also important in their economics, their finances. So I wasn't here to comment on the last meeting, so I just wanted to be heard on it. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have a comment? Mr. Pasquitti.
Yeah, well, I'm in support of this because I think that we should allow the people of Old Bridge to vote whether they want it or not. I don't want to sit up here and be pompous and say, no, I'm not going to allow the people to vote. I say, let them vote. You know, I mean, you know, if there's a lot of complaints about open space, and the only way to gain this open space is to buy it. And we, as a town, can't afford it. So we'll put it out to a vote for people to decide whether they would like it or not.
Yeah, real quick. I didn't say about not putting it out to vote. I just said I want to be supported because of people, because of the current economy. Of course, I want people to vote on it. I never came out of my mouth. I didn't want anybody to vote on it. Thank you.
Yeah. There's nothing to talk about. Pretty much the taxpayers should have the right to vote. That's one thing as Americans that we do have, right? We have the right to vote. So it should be in your hands because the taxpayers come first. It's pretty simple, right? And if anybody know how much that would be per resident?
About 100, yeah.
For how long? For how long? $30 for the whole year? Ma'am, I was asking her. Thank you. Appreciate it, though. No comments from out here. Please. What are you saying now? $30 a year. Okay. All right, thanks.
I would just like to say is, once the land is gone, it's gone. You're not going to be able to buy land anywhere. And this is going on. We used to have an open space tax, and it sunsetted. They let it sunset under Jimmy Phillips when he was mayor. Not only that, we send money to the county, an open space tax. Please look at your tax bill, the amount of money that we spend to Middlesex County for them to buy open space. But they're not buying it in Old Bridge, they're buying it at other places. How is that fair? Our money is going to the county and they're spending this. Not only that, we cannot be partners with the county or the state unless we do have an open space trust fund to do that. So that's why this is really important. And I would like to say, we just heard it's not that much, but if you don't have money, you can't buy land. And if you don't have a person who wants to sell their land, also you can't buy the land. But the real important thing, if you look totally around the state, you think about all the money that is wasted, that is not benefiting each and every one of you out here. And you say, where can they make cuts also? We have made cuts. We are rated AA1 by an outside company. That is saying that we are financially responsible here, that we are doing a good job. If you look at the amount of money that has increased, you know why it's increased? Because of the state. The state, with the energy grids that they took away, and the cost more for power now. They closed the nuclear power plant. What we're paying more for power. Not only that, what we're paying for gas. New Jersey never used to have a gas tax. Now we do. Every gallon that you buy, 50 cents goes to the state. 50 cents. So with that, they can give back money. The state just took away money from seniors. Instead of you getting $6,000 back on fixed income and seniors, now you're getting $4,000. So I have no idea what they're doing with this money, but I'm sure that we could come up with the money and preserve land, because when it's gone, and we all want to preserve open space when we can. And so this would behoove all of us to really look at this and consider that this has a value for everybody. So we appreciate you to look at this strongly, ask questions, evaluate it, and then in November, vote for the open space tax. Because we've had it, and I said that it was sunsetted. All these years, if it stayed in place, we would have had money building up, and as land came available, we could have bought it. So that's the situation, unfortunately, that we're at now. And so we're going out to the public, so you do have a say in it, and so that you understand it, and hopefully we get this done. Thank you.
And one more thing. Look, this is our town. You all came here because you have something you're concerned about. Well, guess what? You guys come first, not the state. This is Old Bridge. You don't just put things on us because they say so. We're not going to stand here and get abused by the state. So at the end of the day, please go out and vote. Get educated on it, because we totally believe it'll benefit this town. Don't let the state dictate what happens in Old Bridge, because we do a really good job. We're fiscally responsible. And like Anita said, we have a AA Moody rating, and we do pretty well. So please educate yourself on it and make sure that we always know one thing. Our taxpayers actually, and come first. And 1 second, please. We're going to have some decorum tonight. You can't speak out of line. You can't yell from the back. You can't just speak. You'll have your time to come up. You got to have respect when you come here. You have to have respect when you come here. Okay? There's a lot of people here. You have an opportunity to talk, you will. But don't be screaming out of line, because that's not the right thing to do. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Is there any other council member, anyone else want to add something? Mr. De Palma?
Yeah, I support this. I think what doesn't happen a lot is the residents don't get to directly vote on any additional levy that would happen on them. This is unique, right? In November, you'll be able to go to the polls and decide for yourself whether you want this levy. So as we move forward, should this levy pass, we'll have the money, and we'll be able to get an additional funding from the county, from the state with this. So we can look at those parcels of land that we could purchase, make into parks, or just keep as open land, right? That's the main thing for this, is looking at it in the totality of this town. There's still a lot of open space in this township. It may not seem that way, but there is a lot. I believe it's somewhere along the lines of 40+% of this township is undeveloped, right? The only way that we can get a hold of that is by having a levy to go and partner with the county to get some of that funding, utilize the funding from this as well as the funding from the county in order to grab some of that land before it's taken by someone privately, and then ultimately them trying to build on top of it. This one thing is an important step forward to ensure that we can preserve some of the township in the way that it is today, so it doesn't get into a more overdeveloped township.
But as far as this goes, the county, it's mandated what we pay. We don't have a say in how much open space we have to pay to them, an open space tax. And that's tough, because like Dr. Greenberg said, if we don't have a matching fund, we're just putting our money in someone else's area. And that really makes me, upset. We spend a lot of money. And this is something, like Mr. De Palma said, you can vote on yourself. You can decide for yourself. And when it's time, if we do have the funds, then there will be a public meeting too on how to utilize this money. People will have a say in it. I think this is the best thing we could do for ourselves, is try to help ourselves. And none of us, all of us are struggling. None of us have extra money to just, put out. But for that kind of an amount of money to ensure our future, some of this land could also then be assigned for COA, for the affordable housing. We need to make sure that we're protected and we protect the future of Old Bridge here. And it's not an easy task when you have no open space trust fund. So I really hope that people don't get mired down in social media and, this is what's going to happen. No, We're asking you to decide for yourselves what you think you want to do. And hopefully, you'll want to come along with us and do this. If you don't, then that's what's going to happen in Old Bridge. So it's not anything, sneaky or anything. Just come and vote. And if you have any questions, you can contact the mayor's office. You can contact any one of us. This hopefully is something that goes beyond all the political back and forth. This is for Old Bridge. So please keep that in mind and don't let, social media right away, cloud what's going on. Come here, come to the meeting and ask the questions yourself. This is a big one. It really, really is. And I'm older now, so I don't know what my future, how long, but I know I have a grandchild living in Old Bridge that's 4. I would love for him to stay here for the rest of, his days growing up here and grow up in the kind of Old Bridge that my children grew up in. We need to keep this open space. So please just think really long and hard and try not to make it into something that's either A or B. Just really think hard about it. Thank you. Anyone else have anything? Mayor, you want to add something?
No, I just don't know if they know, to be clear, that this is just letting it go on the ballot for the
Right.
voters to decide.
Right.
We're not putting the levy on you.
Nope.
If you vote it down, then there's not going to be, but like they had said, if we don't do this, we're not going to get matching funds from the state and the county. And you do pay in open space, I believe it's 2 cents you pay to the county and it's not more than that? No, I'm saying just the open space fund. It's mandatory, and we're not going to get the money back. And I know we want to preserve the land, but we don't have the money. It's expensive to buy land, and unfortunately, these builders come in, and they offer the farmers a lot of money, which we can't match, and it's very hard to preserve space right now. And Old Bridge is very desirable, but we don't own a lot of this land. Like Councilman said, that 40% of Old Bridge is not built out, so we want to try to preserve as much as they can. And this is not be a political thing. This is just to preserve open space in Old Bridge. So you could read it. And I believe it's $30 per year for a household. So I hope you consider it.
Okay, anyone else? Are we good? Okay, so then I'll ask for a motion. Okay.
Moved by Councilman Von Stetten, second by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next will be C12, Mr. Merwin.
I don't know who would answer this question.
Okay.
Did we have that many tax appeals?
We do have a couple
Starting now.
big appeals that are finally been going to court and stuff this year, so that's why the increase has been up. Typically, over the last few years, the contract for this tax council was about $50,000. The last 2 years, it had gone down. This year, it's an up year, so we just have to increase the contract.
Yeah.
That's all. I'll move it if nobody else has any.
Yeah, it's always a worry, what the appeals. Okay, so do you make a motion?
Yeah, I made it.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Councilman DePalma. Roll call, Councilman Asatuli.
Yes.
Councilman DePalma.
Yes.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti.
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes.
And Council President Sohar.
Yes.
Motion carries.
C13, Mr. Pasquitti.
Okay, yes. As most of you know, I'm on the Housing Authority, and I hear firsthand complaints about how these management companies, not all of them, but a good portion, treat the senior citizens. They treat them like garbage. One story was this 90-year-old woman didn't have any heat, and they told her to get a space heater. Now this may or may not have anything to do with it, but I think that when we decide to go into an agreement with another senior housing, we should have something in the contract that gives us a little bit of teeth, that they will treat the people like human beings with some dignity. These people are at the end of their lives. and they just want to be retired and live in Old Bridge and live in a nice place. So now these folks are going to renovate that whole development there, which is really nice. It's great. But I would like to table it because I would like to look at the contract and see if we can put something in the contract that will add some sort of strength for us, that they may have to come before us if they're not treating their people correctly. It's bad. We may not hear about it, but I do.
So I don't know if anything can be added to the contract, but just so you know, you did mention the company is looking to make about $13 million or over $13 million in worth of renovations to the 100 Ticetown existing building. As you know, it's 100% affordable, age-restricted housing, so it's all seniors. There are about 3 to 4 units that are also for people with disabilities and things like that. So they're looking to make $13.7 million in renovations, which comes out to about $67,000 worth of renovations per unit. Looking to put new roof in, new AC and heating systems. And I agree, and you know me, I love my seniors. I worked with them for a long time, so I'm a big advocate for them. So if I didn't think that this was something that would benefit them, I wouldn't agree. Now, the reason that they need this financial agreement with us is because in order to be able to do this project, they will need to get funding from the state. So they'll be going to the state to get funding through all the different programs that the state offers for these types of buildings that are 100% affordable. So in order for that to happen, this needs to happen. I understand your concern. We can certainly speak with them and, reiterate that. If you choose to table it, that's obviously up to the council, and we can bring those concerns to them. But that's what this is for. This is for them to really take the building, upgrade it, redo every single unit is going to get redone. It's going to include painting, new light fixtures, new flooring, bathrooms, low flow toilets, new walk-in showers, kitchens, a lot of site work. We need to do the complete parking lot, the sidewalks, everything there. As you probably see, a lot of people walk from there to the shopping center right there up the road. So this is to do those improvements, and in order for them to be able to do that and to apply for this funding through the state, and they need to be able to have this in place. So.
I just want to say, how old do you have to be to get in? Because it just sounds fantastic, Anna, the way you're putting it. I'm just saying. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I do believe, based on the way that she researches it, she dives so deep, she strikes oil. And I know 100% she wouldn't put it out here if it wasn't going to be something good for the community. Because we have Silver Linings, if I'm not mistaken, is probably one of the best senior facilities in all of New Jersey. So thank you for the clarification. Tony, obviously, thank you for your concern.
And I appreciate you bringing the concerns to the forefront, because it is a common concern when it comes to senior housings, assisted living facilities, nursing homes. That's a common concern. So I'm hoping that this is what will take them in the right direction, to upgrade the building, make those improvements so people can age in place in a good way, that they're not just afterthoughts. And I hope that this will keep them honest and keep them going to that direction, and hopefully they will be able to get the funding that they need to do this.
You know when they want to start?
I mean, as soon as they are able to get the funding. So, and they're looking to get this so that they can get their applications in for the loans and everything else, so.
I understand Mr. Paschetti's frustration because he does get the complaints, and because these managed companies that have been put in place at some of these buildings, which we have all gone to, and then they complain to us where we don't have any control of it. And then with the housing association, your hands are tied. So I think we have to come up with a way that there's some input and some oversight. This is for the funding to get it done. Yes, we'll help them with that. But at the same time, there has to be a conversation. Where do we go from here?
Okay. We can certainly have the conversation. I'm actually going to ask Vina to come up also and talk a little bit about this, because she's been working on this with me as well. Vina Sawan is our township planner.
Good evening, Vina.
Good evening, Council. I just wanted to chime in. This project is critical to us because it is helping us address a major chunk of our fourth round affordable housing obligation. I've been working with these developers because it so happened that we had our plan in place, and out of the blue, I got a request from this developer that they need a letter of support from the Township Council because they're applying for NJHMFA low-income housing tax credits. If you recall, Vista at Old Bridge, which was the 100% municipally sponsored project, also applied for similar tax credits. They, based on those requirements, they do need the pilot. The entire upgrade is going to be roughly 10 to 13 million. There is going to be significant. I've seen pictures of the upgrades that are being proposed, like the bathrooms are renovated, the kitchenettes are renovated. There is going to be a computer room, an exercise room. So there is going to be significant improvements. But I think it's critical to have them get this instead of tabling it because we are on a tight deadline with our housing plan as well. We are still negotiating. I think we are in the right place because this was one project that came last minute. Joe, myself had to work extremely hard, and Mark, to try to work with Fair Housing Center to see if we can get credits on this one, because this project is part of our second round obligation. This was funded through HUD with Section 8, but now this developer who bought the project only in 2018, after the affordability controls had expired, wants to add new affordability controls, which will take us for next 40 years. So, and simultaneously, so they'll still continue to be under HUD, but they are also applying for the low-income housing tax credits. That makes us eligible for 203 credits for next round. So imagine out of the 673, we are addressing our obligation through these units that are already there, and they're only updating it. So I think this, and again, this is not like a regular pilot, because typically the regular pilots that are established under the redevelopment law, you have taxation based on the improvements that are proposed. In this case, it's based on land and the improvements. Most of the times, the percentage that is offered by developers is 6.28%. They're offering a 7.5%. I think the group has been working greatly with us because we needed a lot of documentation and support from them just to get these credits and get qualified by Fair Housing Center and Special Educator. If there is something in the agreement we can work on at the later stage, I think they would be amenable to working with us. But I think this, getting this is quite critical with the timing. So I would, if there are any further questions, I can answer.
Thank you, Veena. I agree with Veena, and I made a note of this, and I am going to speak with them about adding that, but I appreciate you following up on the affordable housing.
I think the most important thing is what Veena is addressing is the fact that it's taking about 30% of our obligations coming up, right? So I think a lot of folks have heard us talk about the affordable housing mandate that comes down and how it works. So for every affordable unit that gets put in, they'll put 3 market rates in. Right, so for every unit that we put in, so really times that by 4, that's how many units that a developer will need to build in order for them to say that they're affordable, that they're profitable. So that's what the state allows. They allow up to 20% of us to mandate them for affordable housing. With here, we're taking, and not only, we're adding the 200 that is already built. So this was built back in the 80s.
The 83, it was 83.
So,
yep, 1983.
43 years ago. We're taking something that was built 43 years ago, and now we're they're repurposing it, getting it to up to current standards, and also taking that additional build off of the township's plate. So similar to, this is what happened with Tom's River this year. They had a lot of these come up, and they were able to add them on to this round. This is this is a win for us. I think that's the most important thing about this portion of it, is the fact that it not only adds this, it's going to help those seniors that live in there by upgrading the units, but it's also going to take 200 affordable units off of our mandate, but an additional 800 units in total.
And that is what I wanted to say, because people who have been following up on the affordable housing obligation or the fourth round, right? We had 8 objectors, and these 200 units have helped us push away or dictate development on some of the objector sites, because we were in a position to say no, that you can't build X amount, we want you to reduce it down to X. But it was only because we found these 203 credits that we can use. And it's not just those credits. There are 2 special needs housing credits. We get 2-on-2 bonus on those. So in terms, and plus you get credits on age-restricted housing. Although we are capped at the bonus credits on age-restricted, these age-restricted bonus credits can be used towards our 5th round. So the plan we have been working on, we will have surplus credits that will be carried on to the next round. So it's not just the 203 credits, but excess credits that we can carry.
By 4, those 200 units,
Yes.
that's 800.
Correct.
That's a lot.
People don't understand that.
I mean, 800 is a
Well-
lot to have to. Thank you.
Thank
To be
you.
able to not have to build, that's a ton.
I just want to say, Vina, thank you so much for your clarification. Eric, thank you so much for clarifying. I do think what Tony, what you were bringing up really is, and thank you, both of you, is morally, we don't want our seniors to get abused.
And they are.
And we can't allow that to happen. So listen, I back you 100%. And I know Anna will definitely bring it up, and we got to make sure that they're taken care of. So from a moral high ground, thank you so much. And Eric and Vina, thank you so much for the clarification on the housing. I really appreciate it. Thanks
So
again,
what's the
Tony.
likelihood that they'll add something into
Okay,
this
yes,
contract
I will
if we agree to it tonight?
Yes. I'll reach out to Jennifer.
But we
Okay?
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Real simple. The attorney's sitting here. Can we add something to this that gives us a liaison? And we get past this right now? Because great things, and it's all great things that we're going to get to 200.
this is a good thing.
But more important is what Tony has brought up, and if there's a problem there, that's what we need to address. So if we can just add a little caveat to that contract that says, let's have a liaison
You
and.
can't unilaterally do it, right? I mean,
They have to know about it.
I think it's something that could be approached, right? And
Can't do it.
I just don't know how far it could go. In other words, I don't think that you can put something in the contract that would be acceptable to these folks that want to do this, that says that if somebody has a complaint about something, there's going to be penalties or whatever the case may be. I don't think it's a bad idea to add something that there'll be a liaison that's appointed by council for complaints. Now, look, if things got so bad that you could, the inhabitants could file suit against the owner of the place. I mean, ultimately, that's what you would have to do. But if you want to, I can talk to Mark and certainly approach these folks about putting something in there. I don't know how long that would take, but I think by delaying it, we delay the whole process.
Yeah, no,
And that's the concern, because these guys, they can't get financing without this moving forward. And so the longer the delay, you know how that goes, and finances. I don't know this company. I know that Mr. Roselli's been working with them and with our engineering and Vina. I think that they could sit down and discuss something, a sidebar to this without tabling this tonight because of the implications it could have for financing. But that's something that the council's going to have to decide.
All right, well, Kenny, we have nothing now. So even if we had something, I think it's a step in the right direction, right?
I don't disagree with you. I'm just
I'll
saying
support
that.
this, but I want some effort.
Yes, I agree.
right?
I don't have a problem with that. I'll convey that to Mr. Roselli tomorrow when I see him, and we'll go from there. We'll try to get something moving quickly.
Okay, with that, I'll move it.
Recommendation would be that
Okay.
we don't look at it from this specific property. It should be for all properties.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a motion from Councilman Pasquitti, second by Councilman Astatuli. Roll call, Councilman Astatuli?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquitti?
Yes.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
And Council President Sohar?
Yes.
8 yeses, motion carries.
Okay. All right, next will be discussion items. Discussion regarding data centers in the Township of Old Bridge. Councilman Merwin?
Data centers. Boy, have they changed dramatically over the past 25 years. In the years following September 11 attacks, many organizations, especially financial institutions, focused on building backup data centers in separate locations so operation could quickly continue when a major disruption occurred. The primary goal was business continuity and disaster recovery.
Any information?
Today's AI data centers serve as a very different purpose. Rather than acting mainly as backup facilities, they function as large-scale computing factories designed to process enormous amount of data and powerful artificial intelligence systems. As a result, they require different architectures, significantly more electrical power, advanced cooling systems, faster networking, and locations chosen for access to abundant power and infrastructure rather than simply geographic separation. In simple terms, yesterday's data centers were built to protect and preserve information, while today's AI data centers are built to create intelligence through massive computational processing. Data centers have changed and grown rapidly, but local and state zoning laws have not kept pace. At the same time, it's still unclear whether our community has the infrastructure needed to support the large amounts of electricity and water that these facilities require. A mid-sized financial data center typically uses about 10 to 20 megawatts of power. By comparison, a mid-sized AI data center can use 50 to 150 megawatts, which is approximately 5 to 10 times more electricity. The difference in water use is also significant. A mid-sized financial data center may use about 100 million gallons of water a year, while a mid-sized AI data center can use about 1.8 billion gallons of water annually, roughly 10 to 20 times more. Before approving these facilities, it's important to determine whether our community can sustainably provide the power and water resources they require. So the reason I brought it up, it's my recommendation that we pass a resolution of moratorium to prevent any AI databases for a period of 3 years to allow our zoning laws to catch up and to investigate whether we can sustain the electric and water consumption that these centers utilize. Now, it's not my intention to try to pass a zoning change, all right, which will take all kinds of time. My intention is to put a stop to it right now to protect the township from Old Bridge, from anybody being able to come in and put an application in for an AI data center. Right. Listen, all this material is all AI. All right? It's all AI. No matter what you do today is AI. But that doesn't mean that it's got to be in the township of Old Bridge. All right? Water, 1.8 billion gallons of water. That is 2/3 of the water that the households in Old Bridge currently use. That is unbelievable. And then once it gets used and it gets back into the groundwater or wherever it goes, it's contaminated. Not contaminated, it's tainted. All right? So now it's going back into the surface waters and getting involved with our water and stuff. The electricity, the amount of electricity needed to power these things. Not that those telephone poles that are going up all over the place mean anything. It causes your bills to go up. And you're seeing it. You're going to see it now. Your electric is going sky high. Why? All right? So I'm not asking for a zoning change. I'm asking we pump the brakes. We go and investigate this. And then we go from there. Because, believe me, I have a whole page here of the pros, too. And it's only thing it is money. All right? But I got a bunch of pages that say this is not the thing to do in Old Bridge. Talk about noise, low frequency noise. Take the facility, if they were to use one of these new warehouses, which are big enough to put an AI center in, if you take a dot and go 3.5 miles or in the around, put it down in the Lawrence Harbor, it'll put it out in the South Old Bridge, it'll put it down in Marlboro, it'll put it up in the Sayreville. Because that's 3.5 miles as the crow flies, not 3.5 miles as you got to drive your car. All right? And that's where that low frequency noise is going to go to. So I think we should, respectfully take a little step back, put a moratorium in place, and we go from there. If we decide we want it and we got all the things in place, that'll be the thing to do. If not, well, then, that's what we got. But that is why I put this up. All right, thank you.
Hey, Dave, I have a few questions. What are the pros and the cons of data centers?
What are the pros?
I heard all the cons. I just want to know. I know you put it up.
Oh, I
today.
did. I tell you what the pro was.
Can you give me a few?
Yeah, I tell you what the pro is. Money.
Except there's the money. No, anything else?
Money.
Okay. No, hold up. Well, listen.
I mean,
no. Let him speak. Go ahead, Dave.
That's what it is. It's money. It comes down to money.
That's about it? Okay.
I mean,
and let me ask you a question. No, I want another
It'll
question.
give it meaningful local benefits. It's, it'll tell you jobs. That'll give you the construction jobs. But afterwards, it's very low.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right?
Ladies and gentlemen, let him speak. Let him speak.
Especially in especially in a low to medium size facility. Even a large size only has 100 employees. And that's just to maintain everything and go on from there. Tax revenue, of course, that's the money.
So
That's
tax
the
revenue?
property and pilots.
And who does that benefit?
Huh? Well, listen.
I'm just asking the question. I'm just asking. I want to. I'm curious. That's all.
You know where it goes.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking you. You brought it up, so we want to know.
That'll go against the taxes, against it.
So it'll go against it, or would it benefit the town?
Well, it would be a benefit to the town.
So what do you think it would do? How would it benefit the town? Ladies and gentlemen, please. How would it benefit the town?
Well, we would hopefully that it would reduce it.
What would it reduce, Dave?
But that is the trade-off.
So what would it reduce?
All those negatives are the trade-off. That's why I'm asking, let's pump the brakes. All right? Let's pump the brakes. Let's put a moratorium in place. And it doesn't have to be 3 years. It could be a year. We can.
1 second, ladies and gentlemen. No. One other thing, Dave. So here's a question. So are they built above ground or underneath the ground?
Are they what?
They above ground or do they build underneath? I'm curious.
They're built
You guys came to get
above ground.
educated. I'm asking
They're
a question.
built above ground. They're built
All of them
into
are
the
built above
warehouse.
ground? Okay. And do you know exactly where they're being built in Oak Bridge?
No, we don't know. But we do know that there's two places.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to have some decorum. Attorney, please.
We do know
We're
that
talking. Go ahead.
there's two zones that allow them.
No, where are they getting built in Old Bridge?
I just told you.
Where?
There's two zones in Old Bridge.
And
All of Ward 4.
Is there a contract in place that somebody's going to build one here?
I don't know.
Oh.
You want to wait for it?
No, I just wanted to
No,
know.
no.
So-
Do you want?
No, it's okay.
Do you want to wait for it, and then we have to allow it?
No, let me ask you a question.
Then we would have to.
One second. How can we? No, hold on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
No, it's okay.
We have been.
interrupt. We're going to have to remove
gotta go.
everybody from the
we're just-
hearing because this is council's discussion
Yeah.
time. You'll have an opportunity to speak when the public gets to speak,
Right,
but you've got to allow this discussion to
Exactly.
take place, whether you're for or against.
exactly.
All
You
right,
have
so
to
just
listen.
Maintain your composure and
Please.
let the council speak.
Right,
All right?
We
You'll
always-
have your opportunity at the end of the session.
right,
okay?
exactly.
Thank you so much.
We
I
always
appreciate it.
Talk about, you
One
know,
other thing. It is. I know you wrote something on social media, Dave.
Yeah.
Says something to the effect of everyone needs to come out and support the moratorium. What's wrong with putting the brakes on? Unless, of course, you already have some deal in place.
Yeah.
Who's got a deal in place?
Why would you be afraid of pumping the brakes?
Who has a deal?
Unless, of course, you got a deal in place.
Who has the deal?
wait,
Unless you're already talking to
wait.
somebody.
Who has a deal?
I don't know. Why?
Exactly.
Why would we be worried about it?
but who
Don't worry
said
about
we
it.
Why would
were?
we be worried? Why
There's
would
no
we
deal in
want to
place.
put the brakes on?
Anna, do we
Why
have a
would
deal?
we want to
Sorry, one
stop
second, Dave.
this?
Do we have a deal in place?
No, there are no current
Are
applications.
there
or
anybody
anything.
applications
wait,
to put a data center?
No.
Just,
Is there, ladies and gentlemen, please listen and give me an opportunity. We're all here to get educated, and we got to speak the truth and just speak about facts. There is none coming to Old Bridge as of today. Am I correct?
Correct.
Are there any applications?
No.
Okay, so all I'm
wait,
saying
let
is,
them talk, and then
okay,
they'll talk.
3 years. Now, one thing is a moratorium for 3 years, right?
1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever you want.
Can we,
Well,
let
if
our
there is-
township- can we please let our township planner
I'm going to
come
have
up?
Vina just quickly come up
Thank
to
you.
just talk a little bit about the data centers, and I know Councilman De Palma also
People
wanted
are
to
being
add.
alarmed for no reason.
Wait, one question, getting back to the last question that was just asked of you. Are there any applications? What if one come in tomorrow and it conformed? What do we have?
Well, the two zones that they're approved in, the one is the SEGME project, and he already has his approvals for other uses. So I don't think he'll be coming in tomorrow with an application, but he is, and that is not why we were entertained. We are not in favor of data centers. Oh, I shouldn't say we, I apologize.
Then put the
I will
brakes
speak
on.
for myself only, because I only speak for myself. I am not part of the council. And the other property is what's known as the Crossroads property, which is township property, which has not been sold, and it's currently in litigation, so nothing is currently happening there or in the near future. And as Council President indicated at the beginning, obviously, if any application regarding a data center would come forward, it would be done in a public forum, so there is no backdoor deals or anything, at least nothing I'm involved in that I know of. Just want to put that on the record. So, Councilman De Palma, or
So just to, so just to give you a little background, currently our zoning ordinance does not permit data centers. The only 3 places where it is permitted is the Crossroad redevelopment plan, and I'll talk about it first. Crossroad redevelopment plan was amended in 2008 to include data centers. We had a developer who came in and was interested in developing data centers almost 5 years ago. He came back to us saying that we do not have, JCP&L does not have the power to develop a data center, and he wants the data centers to be removed and wants to switch to warehousing. The current plan allows warehousing and data centers, but on the Crossroads sites, we are in litigation with this developer, so we really can't make any changes since we are in litigation and fighting. But the truth is, and it was not just one developer, there were a couple who came back saying that they cannot develop Crossroads property with data centers due to lack of power. The other two zones, the only two zones where data centers are permitted are within the Segme redevelopment plan. It's the I-3 zone, which is right on Route 9, and I-10 zone, which is the Old Bridge Rifle and Pistol Club site. Both these sites have planning board approvals. In fact, the I-10 zone, which is on Route 9, is currently under construction. They are only approved for a warehouse. The design does not support data centers because if you look at the approved plans, it has a lot of car parking as well as truck parking. That's not typical of a data center. The size and the height also is not typical of a data center. The other site, which is the I-10 zone on the gun club side, that too has an approval of a warehouse. Again, the design does not allow for a data center. So those are approved plans. The Route 9 site is under construction, and a gun club site, we are going through DEP approvals.
How big is that building?
The one on the gun club, it's only 400 square feet.
That ain't big enough.
So
But the other warehouses are, and if Segme changes his mind or he doesn't rent them out.
But that could be the case anytime. We don't allow it, period. That doesn't stop any developer from coming with a proposal and going to the zoning board. Whether it's a not permitted use or a prohibited use. The one more thing is with moratoriums based on municipal land use law, a moratorium can be placed only for 6 months, and that too if there is backing from, if there is a strong reason, health concerns, you can have it in place for only 6 months. Beyond that, it is considered a taking, so a township can't do that. So as of now, we don't permit it. It is not approved anywhere. Segme, I know, is proceeding with the regular standard warehouse. There is no data center coming. And with Crossroads, we can't do anything because we are in litigation. And that too, the litigation is because the developer wanted to develop it with 8 warehouses. So there was no data center in picture on that one as well.
And I've sat on the planning board now since 2020, and we have not entertained a data center since. Every warehouse that we've had come in front of us did not have the use for a data center. The power infrastructure is not there. On Crossroads, I had a conversation with JCP&L a while back. The power infrastructure is just not there. In order for that to happen, it would cost untold millions of dollars for the developer. It's not advantageous for them to go there, right? I know personally, I feel we don't need the data centers in this township, right? And a moratorium, it's kicking the can down the road at this point. So if we're gonna do a moratorium and we're all in agreement not to have it, just outright ban it. Because at the point that we are right now, there's no zone that allows it. In order for the zone to happen, they'd have to go in front of the zoning board and get a use variance. From there, then they'd have to sit in front of the planning board to get approval for it, right? So those are two boards, with the exception of myself, are volunteers within the community. Right? Not a single person besides myself on the zoning board, on the planning board is an elected official, and the zoning board is all volunteers. So we have a volunteer group of folks on both the planning and zoning board that represent the township population, right? I'm sure that they have similar feelings to what everybody here has. So if we're gonna look at, say, kicking the can down the road, don't kick the can down the road, just stop the train completely. So if if anyone wants to entertain a moratorium, that's fine, but I think that we just outright say, at this juncture, data warehouse, the data centers are not something that we want in Old Bridge, right? Hey, maybe in 5 or 10 years, it's a different story, right? Technology changes a lot. Now, I sit in finance technology, and I know a lot of folks in town do as well, because I have conversations with them. The difference between a data warehouse 20 years ago, which was, I think as Dave said, was really a contingency site, right? So at post 9/11, I know personally, I sat in a contingency site because my building was partially destroyed on 9/11. So we were in a contingency site during that time frame. And then during Hurricane Sandy, again, when Wall Street was flooded, we had to go to our contingency sites. Those are like micro data centers as opposed to the larger AI versioning ones. Those larger AI versioning ones are tremendous, right? Similar to, we don't have Amazon warehouses in this town. The Amazon warehouses, if you go over the bridge into Staten Island, it's probably the size of, half of Old Bridge at this point. Like there was supposed to be a NASCAR track on that parcel of land that the Amazon warehouse is. So those types of data centers, which are the new ones that are popping up, they're just not fit for purpose in this township. And if I say we just outright get rid of them completely, with the exception of the two that we have, right? Because we are one under litigation, there's nothing we could do for that. And I know the Segme property already has an approval use for
Right,
a
and-
warehouse, not a data center.
And Eric, to add on to that, the Segme site actually cannot be developed, even with the approvals, even if they come back, they cannot be because the height limitation is only 48 feet. Data centers require higher height. And one more important thing, when Regency Center, the commercial component was built, Regency Center struggled to get power from JCP&L.
Yes.
It wasn't easy for Regency Center, which is a retail. This needs much more. And that's right across the street from this site. Again, the building cannot be higher than 48 feet. So the entire layout and the design is not conducive to
I live
data
I live in a neighborhood, and some of my neighbors are out there, and Mary's as well. We live in a neighborhood that sometimes struggle to get power at times. So we definitely understand the power infrastructure is not within our realm. If we were closer to the nuclear site down south, I think that's a different story, right? The transmission of that power is very cost prohibitive. So I mean, my opinion would be just go right and outright ban it.
I do have one thing, Vina, right? I just, ladies and gentlemen, please hear me out for a minute, right? Tech is moving so fast. We don't know what's coming down the pipeline. We used to have horse and buggy, now we have cars. There used to be farmers, now we have tractors. They're so incredible. From what I'm hearing, they may be building them underground with neothermal energy. There's a lot of great stuff coming. And we don't know what the future holds, but it's moving so fast. And we may find out that it's a real benefit, not just that, but tech in town. And I do believe we're not going to put it, if something comes here in front of someone's house to hurt you with the noise and spend water. We think of residents first. And the thing is, with tech and all the new revolution, why should we miss out on something that may benefit us in the long run, be very good for us, and we don't know it? Every month, something new is coming out. There's some unbelievable stuff that's happening all over the world. So for us to be handcuffed and start banning things without knowing what's coming, I don't think it's right for all of you. And I live here for 22 years. I think tech really does a lot of great things, not good things and bad things, good and bad and everything. But we need, when something does come, we need to kind of research it, see if it's good before we ban something in town right off the bat. That's just my take on it.
Yes, I would like to speak. I appreciate everyone coming here tonight, but I think you were drawn here really for a horse and pony show. There is no applications for a data center presented to us on any level, okay? And the way that it came out on Facebook, the way we heard it, that as Mr. Merman said, oh, they're putting up big poles, new electric poles. They must be data centers coming here. So I think it's these things, by saying data centers, they're trigger words for you that you're upset. There's no data center here for a lot of reasons. Now when people build data centers, they have to actually build their own power grid, and they need a water source. It's not a water source here. And in fact, in Old Bridge, the DEP only allows us to pull out a certain amount of water, and that is why That is why we have to buy water from Middlesex Water, and that's why the water rates keep on going up, because they don't let us use our, the capacity that we could use in our own water, and I'm telling you. So when you do this is adding things. I can see how everyone's upset here. No one's here for a data center. No one wants a data center here. I see that it's like, get you upset, you're agitated, you're upset, oh, we don't want a data center, we're all cheering. There was never going to be a data center here, except, and let me tell you something, I will go back to December 14th, 2007, and if any of you can look up this article in the Suburban. First of all, it was the Democrats who wanted a data center at Crossroad.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's speak.
No,
Let's speak.
you can read it for yourself. You can read it for yourself. Do you want to be educated or you just want to shout things out? Okay? So this is what I'm telling you. From 2007, December 14th, they proposed to zoning order the Democrats. There were 7 Democrats at that time and 2 Republicans for this. And they touted out that it was going to be great for our taxes and how it was. And I'll tell you what, one of the Democrat councilmen, in a meeting on Monday, the Township Council voted to amend the redevelopment plan for the Crossroads site to allow data centers. It looks like we can actually have the prospect of providing tax relief. We'd be foolish not to pursue it and see where it leads. As I said, they all voted for it except for 2 Republicans. I got up and I said, I'd been on the planning board, and I reached out to towns that also had data centers in Secaucus and Piscataway. And I asked them, when you put these data centers in, did the residents get tax relief? No. So I stated that at this particular meeting. It went through a vote. It was the Democrats. No one's here. As I said, I'm glad you all came out. You're all excited. We understand your position on it. I'm not in favor of it because it's non-sustainable in Old Bridge because the water and for the electric grid, unless they have a way of getting their own water, which is not feasible here, and building their own electric grid. So it's a moot point. It's a really, oh, let's come and say support him because he's against data centers. It's a horse and pony show. So I hate to tell you, I'm glad you came out, glad we see you, glad we know your opinions and where you stand for, but this is the position. So you can look it for yourself, once again, December 14th, 2007, in the Suburban. And at that time, he was in favor of data centers. So as you say, times are changing. But if you look at the whole country, they are trying to figure this out. Because if you can imagine in 10, 15, 20 years, with all this AI, I could care less about a computer. I can care less about the cell phone. I can care less about AI. The bottom line is that is the future because these kids are born with a cell phone in their hand and they're always on a tablet. So in 20 years, you're going to say, oh, China did this. We're so far behind. But it's not up to Old Bridge to do it and no data centers coming here because it's not going to be feasible for the developer to build it.
Anyone else on the council? Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Von Stetten.
I'm also against data centers. I am in favor of a outright ban now. Like, why wait 3 years? But let me real quick. There are other things. There are mitigation strategies that are happening for some of the issues that have been brought up. Sound issues. The average decibel level in neighborhoods that have data centers to them about 60 to 80 decibels, or equivalent of like a high traffic environment. Mitigation strategies that are doing that are sound barriers and also liquid immersion cooling technologies. We're not there yet, but down in the future there will be. Same thing with the water issues. Future data centers are going to start to use closed loop cooling. It's a concept similar to a radiator in a car. Or if you're a gamer, desktop computers with water cooling. It's the same thing, just on a much larger scale. The problem with that is it generates more electricity. That's an issue. As you said, AI data centers, they can also consume up to 1 gigawatt of power continuously on average on the much larger scale.
He's an IT guy.
Yeah, sorry. Operators are increasingly pairing those closed loop data centers directly with nuclear, wind, solar energy projects. Again, that's a whole nother discussion, but I'm against that. Listen, if 10, 15 years down the road, we find out Data centers are great. We don't have these environmental issues, everything like that. Bans can be changed. So that's how it looks now. Thanks.
Rizzoli.
Thank you, Council President. Yeah, I support a ban too, but I think party has nothing to do with it. People are concerned about the negative impact on their property value. I mean, there's areas in Ward 4 that could be a problem for people's homes. So I definitely support a ban, and I'm going to move Councilman Merwin's motion. Move his resolution.
Well, before that, was anyone else have comments?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I have a lot of people yet, right? Before the mayor, I'm going to speak, and then the mayor will speak. Anyone else? Mr. Pasquetti.
Yeah, well, I'm from an IT background as well, and when it comes to data centers, they're not conducive in, residential areas, obviously. The military would put the data centers underground, and when they did that, they had natural cooling from the ground, 58 degrees constant, and they also are now talking about these things called SMRs, which are small modular nuclear reactors, which would create their own energy source and then sell the excess back to the grid. So the technology is changing quickly, and I think it would be a mistake to ban something when we don't know all the information yet. And it made me think, of Chicken Little. The sky is falling, global cooling, global warming, just causing all this angst and, emotion when we need to really look at this stuff logically and not make an emotional decision, in my opinion. Okay, thank you. That's it.
Yep, anybody else have any comment? Okay, I'm going to try to finish this up. I had a lot of thoughts, but the one thing that bothered me the most was the way this rolled out, so to speak. I thought it was a great idea for discussion, and I always have, and I think it's very healthy. We need to do that. We can't live in a vacuum. We have to know what you're thinking, and that's very important to all of us. To me especially. I've been here a long time, and I have to tell you, we've been through various things as time went on, and we tried to really make it transparent and talk about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. When Councilman Merwin asked to put it on the agenda for this evening, it's fine. We can talk about it. Why not? What upset me was that evidently it became a social media frenzy, and that I was against doing anything, and I was doing data centers. Where? Who said that? I want to know who thought we had an application. I just want to know who thought we had an application already before a board. Before the boards. They're being heard now before the boards. Okay, so that, again, are they being heard before the boards? All right. What happened now, to me, I just want a fair trial here. For people to say that right away, we don't want to, we're doing pushback, we're taking some kind of bribe. What in God's name? We were having a conversation. You already heard that 3/4 of the people said they don't think breaks and a moratorium is enough. So why is it that this became something so political? I don't understand. I really don't. Well, I'm not saying you individually. But what I'm saying is people were calling and saying, where is the data center? Data center. Why are you in favor of data center? What? This is crazy. If we're going to have a conversation, that's fine. Discussion is what this chamber is for. And I'm glad that you all did come out. So at least maybe this group heard the truth of what everybody feels. That's all. I think it's a good thing to come out and a good thing to participate. So everyone, thank you for being here tonight, and you will have time to comment as well. Thank you. Now, the mayor would like to speak.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. I feel bad you came out, really, because we're not in favor of data centers. There's no data center applications out there. I don't think most of the council's in favor of it. And a moratorium isn't going to have any bite If the council wants to do anything, they're going to have to ban them. And as Vina said, our planner, that they're only allowed in 2 areas right now. In one, they already have all approvals. None of them are data centers. And there's no electric or water in the other site. So people are not going to come in and spend that kind of money to put the power in. Right now, in Old Bridge, it's not even feasible. And we are not in favor of data centers. And there are no data center applications out there, I promise you. So I feel bad that you all got upset over nothing, that there are no data centers coming. But they're not coming.
So,
Ma'am, we'll have your time to talk.
Yeah,
on
you'll
council
be able to
comments.
come
You
up in
can
the public now.
Not
As soon as we finish our comments, then we're going to open to the public, okay? Yes.
I have one question. So regardless of what we do, so I guess this is a question for the attorney.
Right.
So we would, obviously I'm in favor of the ban, so we would approve, let's just say a ban, a moratorium, whatever that might be, whatever is
different.
whatever is at the behest of the council, what would have to happen next?
You'd have to instruct the legal department to draft the ordinance. And then we would go back and draft it, and
So it would be an ordinance, it wouldn't have to go to any of the boards or anything like that, it would sit up here?
correct.
Okay. I mean, I'm in favor, to move forward with drafting an ordinance for a ban for the time being. Right?
So there was a motion made by Mr. Palmer?
That's for all zones, right?
Yeah. I believe that's what we said, correct?
It's really reinforcing our current zoning
Right.
laws, in essence, is what we're doing. We're reiterating that we don't allow it in this town, period, end of story. The two other, the ones that are out there can be addressed. But for going forward, it would be yes, the ban on them.
And I believe that Mr. Roselli indicated that, at least to Mr. Merwin, because they've been going back and forth on this for a couple of weeks now, that it could potentially expose the township to a lawsuit for a taking. There's some precedents for that in other towns that pass bans on other things. I think one of them was some town in, I think it was South Jersey. I have my notes here. But that's a potential that it could be. Jersey City, it was an executive order issued by the mayor to deny any demolition permits for one to four family structures in the city. Suit has been filed at this juncture, finding that the mayor exceeded their authority. So that is always the potential that could happen. But frankly, given the fact that we only have two potential sites, one which is Crossroads, which is in litigation, nothing's happening there. But
And the other one has an approval.
the other one
for a
has an
regular
approval for
warehouse.
warehouses. I mean, those are the only two that are permitted at this time, and they're really out of the picture. But,
Yes.
whatever council wants to do is, we'll draft accordingly.
Okay.
I just wanted to, make sure that everybody understands that.
Yep.
Who seconded? Councilman Merwin?
Yes.
Okay. Roll call, so this is to prohibit data centers.
Or to draft
Yeah,
it.
so this would be to draft an ordinance. This would be to send it to the legal department to draft an ordinance for the ban.
Okay, so roll call, Councilman Asatuli?
No.
Is this the first reading or?
No.
No, it's
First
just a
reading.
draft.
No, it's a draft.
Councilman De Palma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
No.
Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli?
Yes.
And Council President Sohar?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4. So we're,
Those are two no's.
yeah, 2 noes and to draft an ordinance.
Not your fault. What was it? What was that? Wow.
Sorry.
Okay.
Discussion item.
Next discussion item is, hold on one second now. Discussion regarding restricting the use of township vehicles by elected officials. Mr. Rizzoli.
Thank you, Council President. Yes, I like an ordinance drafted.
What are we doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please, let him speak.
Let's get through and then you get to the public
Restricting the
portion.
use where no elected official can be issued a taxpayer-funded vehicle to take home. Whoever the mayor is, he or she can drive to town hall, take said vehicle to conduct township business, then return said vehicle. I think it's a very reasonable ordinance.
Okay.
And I want this to move forward. Thank you.
Okay, does anyone have any comment on my left? Does anyone have any comment on my right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Mr. Asatuli.
Mr. Rizzoli, what does the average mayor make with 70,000 residents? Let me say this in the question.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
What does the car have to do with what a mayor makes?
I just asked you a question.
And I'm answering your question. There's no ordinance that allows
Well, they make
take-home car for the
approximately-
mayor.
I'll answer the question for you. I have the data, no worries. Mayor approximately makes, with a township of 70,000, between $60,000 and $90,000 per year. Do you know what the council members make, Mr. Rizzoli, based on residents about 70,000 people, give or take?
She's the public.
Maybe about 25 to 40,000.
Yeah, pretty smart. Good deal.
I know I am. Thank you.
No, good job. So let me share something with you. You know what the mayor makes here?
Their choice.
What does the mayor make here?
I don't know, like 15,000?
Exactly. You know what the council members make?
I think 6, last time I
Exactly,
checked.
6,000. So basically, in 40 years, nobody on this dais has ever asked for a raise and got a raise. Based on 70,000 people, it's the lowest. The mayor makes 15,000. Now watch this. 70,000 people, 15,000 a year. That's 10,000 with taxes. She comes home with about $900 a month to run a 70,000. I'm finished. Do not speak. Sir, you're going to have to go if they add a line one more time. Okay? Thank you. They got to go. And one more person, they got to go. So that being said, she would make come home with $900 and make about $700 a month to run a town of 70,000 residents. Now, if she used her own car for gas, it'll be about $200 a month. I'm sorry, I'd have to disagree.
The ordinance.
Let me finish.
Well, you weren't.
Let me
Well, how
reclaim
long do you
my
want to
time.
speak
I'm
for?
reclaiming
I'm
my
putting the
time.
ordinance up.
I'm
Excuse
reclaiming
me,
my
I'm speaking
time.
on my ordinance.
Anyway.
I said drive to
So,
the township,
one
take the
second.
vehicle
Let
from
me
the
finish.
township, and then
It's okay.
return
Let me
it.
finish my thought.
Just let him.
Let me finish. You don't have to interrupt me. I won't interrupt you.
And then you can.
So the
you can
mayor,
all speak.
I've noticed one thing. She goes to so many events in town. I didn't see you at many, but we've been to many events. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, morning, in the afternoon, the evening. So she does drive around town. I mean, we're talking about 70,000 people. She makes $700 a month. How much more are we going to ask for? Like, give us a break. Let her live a little bit. We run this town. We are #1 in fiscal responsibility. We're one of the greatest towns with public safety to bring up a family. We have a AA Moody rating. Our parks and recs are growing unbelievably. We have a great school system. And at the end of the day, we're talking about a car for a mayor that's making $700 to run a town. We have more. One more. She's got to go. That's it. Excuse me, sir.
You have to leave.
Sir, she's got to go. Enough. You can't be talking from outside. Have some respect. I give you the time, you give us the time. It's not right. You can't just come here and do these things every time you come here and shout from the back. No, I've had it. We're up here serving you, and we get abused. I'm not standing for it. And at the end of the day, we're allowed to talk just like you. You shout 4 times now. Have some respect. I'm the sergeant of arms. Have some respect when you come here. It's the right thing to do. Stop. Enough. It's enough that we come up here every day and get abused. We get called all kinds of stuff. Enough is enough. It's funny, my guy. You can go. You're not that tough. Trust me. So at the end of the day, you're making $700 a month, right? Let me ask you a question. You think that that's fair? That she can't have a car based on her salary and going around
I
town?
don't think there's no specific name I introduced to this. I said in general.
Okay, no, you're good.
I yield my time.
Okay.
So I have a.
Mary, I'm going to respond to that.
Oh,
Okay? Here's the reality. I heard about fiscal responsibility. The entire time the budget was being introduced, all we heard about was fuel costs. Okay? That's all we heard about. Okay? There's nothing that's allowed in ordinance for any elected official to have a vehicle. No one's saying she can't use it for township business. She could drive her car here like other full-time employees. Well, not even full-time employees do. Tell me a job that's not a full-time employee that gets a take-home car. I don't know of any. I'm being reasonable here. All I'm saying is you take your car here, like everybody else does, you use said township vehicle to conduct township business, then you return it. This is for the future, too.
At 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, Mark, this is, seriously? Really? We got bigger things to fry than this, to
Really
be honest.
petty.
I have a question, and I don't know.
He lowered our mics.
Yeah, so I have a question specifically, and I don't know, Kenny, if you could answer this. And if I'm not mistaken, that there state statutes that govern public safety directors. And similar to when Owen was our mayor, and now that Debbie's our mayor, they are our public safety director, right?
They are. The mayor
They are.
is
So are
de
there,
facto the public safety director,
so by
which has
that,
to be on call 24/7,
So-
7 days a week, 365.
so with that, are there statutes? Yes, we may not have code or ordinances specific, but state supersedes a lot of our stuff. Are there state statutes that allow and/or prohibit the use of township vehicles for a public safety director?
I haven't done the research, but not that I'm aware of. There's nothing that prohibits.
Make sure that the TV guy, the volumes on all the microphones are the same.
I mean, these cars are all part of the general pool, if I'm not mistaken. So the cost of insurance is being paid regardless of who drives it. So,
I know that
other than the gas would be the only variable, would be how much gas is used. But because if the car sits in the parking lot or is on the road with the mayor or some other employee, the insurance is going to be paid either way. So your cost, seems to me, would be the variable of mileage and gas.
Yeah, and I think for the purposes of the conversation, that this is not a commuting benefit, right? I think going out to fires, going out to different things, that's the purpose of the vehicle, right? Going out to, obviously we have a lot. And I did use ChatGPT, so I apologize for using the data center just now to look it up. So it doesn't seem like it's not advisable, right? Obviously, if you're using it to, drive to California and back, that's not an advisable thing to do, and I don't think our mayor would do so, right? If you're utilizing it within the township limits and you are doing certain things for the township, yeah, I mean, Mayor Henry had it, and now Mayor Walker has it, right? And it's not as the mayor, it's as the public safety director. If Mayor Walker hired a public safety director tomorrow, she would no longer be eligible to utilize that vehicle, right?
it would
But
also
I think
cost
she
a lot of
would, the
money.
necessity wouldn't be there because she wouldn't be on call.
Correct.
24/7.
Thank you. I'm glad you let me know she's the public safety director. And by the way, when did this start? The mayor's start. You don't have to let me know now. Just research. Let me know when this started. The mayors took home cars. You don't have to let me know now. When
the
this
mayors
whole thing started, when the mayors took home
Started
cars.
going out for, when they were, as a public safety director for fires, for car accidents and everything at night. Thank you.
Well, I can tell you it was here when Mayor Henry was the mayor for 12 years. So that's when it started. I mean, I don't know that,
Before that.
since I've been here, so it'll be like 16 years now. I know that from day one, when he was elected, he had access to and took home a car 24/7, 365 for the same reasons as the public safety director.
Anyone else have any comment or questions?
Just don't know what he's done for Ward 4.
So do we have any questions?
Excuse me? You always got something derogatory to say about somebody. You're nothing but, all you do is bloviate. That's right. What have I done for Ward 4? Let me get this straight. You're trying,
Enough,
all you want
guys.
to do is put warehouses in everybody else's
Enough.
neighborhood.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
All right, enough.
Gio DeCara voted for the warehouses that moved forward from the school.
All right, that's one different topic, a whole nother topic, okay? So is there
It
anyone,
wasn't our land, that's why we need the open space.
is there anyone else that wishes? Mr. Pasquini?
Why do you make a face every time I raise my hand?
Oh, I don't know. Do I?
You do.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, you wave to me, wave to me. Go ahead.
Okay,
What
just
is-
wanted to wave.
Yeah, what would you like to say?
Nothing.
Order, let's go next. Let's go.
I thought you had something to say. All right. Anybody else?
Anyone
Is there
else?
any- To do anything with this? Anybody? Anything else? Okay. All right, so I don't see anybody making any kind of, all right, so we will end that topic. All right? Okay. So. Okay, next will be report of the township clerk.
So I did want to just discuss the primary election and the staff that helped out at the primary election. We want to recognize and sincerely thank our dedicated staff who worked election night at the local level to ensure its successful election closeout process, from our poll workers to township employees. While Election Day often receives much of the attention, the work that follows is equally important. The closeout procedure requires precision, accountability, patience, and an unwavering commitment to the integrity of our electoral process. From reconciling materials and documenting results to securing equipment, every task plays a critical role in maintaining a public trust and confidence in our elections. Our staff demonstrated exceptional professionalism throughout this process. They managed unexpected challenges and remained focused on accuracy and compliance. Their attention to detail ensured that all the procedures were completely, thoroughly, and according to established guidelines. I also want to acknowledge that the administration and council recognize and greatly appreciate the dedication, commitment, and professionalism demonstrated by everyone involved. The efforts often take place behind the scenes, but they don't go unnoticed. The administration and council understand the importance of this work and are grateful for the care and diligence that bring every aspect of the election process. The success of this election closeout was made possible through teamwork, collaboration, and a shared commitment to excellence. Each of you played an important role in ensuring that the process was completely accurate and efficient. On behalf of the administration and council, thank you for your outstanding service, your dedication to public service, and your commitment to maintain the trust and confidence of our community. Your hard work reflects the very best of local government. So I just wanted to give a special shout out to all the people, all the township employees that helped out at the election. We had Sonia Harrison, Evelyn Rosario, Hazel Thompson, Alex Rosel, Gori Chaudhry, Varsha Kotler, Rosemary Rivoli, Kevin Cole, Ray Dill, Mike Martz, Kevin Mentone, Paul Goetz, Linda Jaces, Brenda Wurst, Barbara Grippy, Erica Vargas Hart, Samantha Kitchen, Taylor Sheridan, and Diane Zarati. And everybody, and even the poll workers, we all had an outstanding election, and I want to thank everybody for their dedication.
Very nice. Does anyone have any comments or questions for the clerk's report? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for a motion.
Second.
Motion by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg-Belli, second by Councilman.
And I would be remiss, she did a wonderful job, Kate.
Oh, thank
She's thanking her staff, but she really did an excellent job. Yep, you really did thank you very much. You did a great job.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the report is accepted.
Okay, next is Township Attorney Report.
There are no reports at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is our administrative report. Anna?
Thank you. Cottrell Farm Park Pedestrian Safety Improvement Public Meeting. The Township of Old Bridge will be hosting a public information meeting on Thursday, June 18, to inform residents, officials, businesses, and the public about the preliminary engineering phase for the proposed improvements at Cottrell Farm Park. Old Bridge has received a grant through Transportation Alternatives Set-Aside Program to construct pedestrian safety improvements along the frontage of Cottrell Farm Park. The proposed improvements will add a shared-use path for both pedestrians and bicyclists, street trees, curbs, decorative lighting, stormwater management basins, and other features along the park frontage to provide safe passage for both pedestrians and bicyclists. The purpose of the public information meeting is to update the public and solicit valuable input and information towards the project. Project team members will be in attendance to present information and answer questions on Thursday, June 18th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. here in the Administration Building on the second floor in Conference Room 201. The public is welcome to attend at any time during that time and will have an opportunity to review exhibits of the preliminary construction plans, ask questions, provide feedback via comments at the meeting by mail or email. Written comments will be accepted through July 6, 2026, and comments may be emailed to Nicole S. Shapiro, PEPPCME at nshapiro@oldbridge.com or to Michael A. Wallow, PECME at mwallow, WALLO, at gpinet.com. Cottrell Farm Park subsurface exploration. Old Bridge Township contractor Haley and Aldrich will have begun subsurface exploration along Cottrell Road and Old Bridge Madawan Road, Route 516, within Cottrell Farm Park beginning Monday, June 8th. This work is required to assist in the design of the Cottrell Farm Park Pedestrian Safety Improvement Project. The contractor will be performing the work within Cottrell Farm Park from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. for a duration of 3 to 4 days, weather permitting. The park will remain open to all residents during this construction activity. Should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact the Old Bridge Township Engineering Office at 732-721-5600, extension 302. Princeton Road resurfacing. Old Bridge Township contractor Miko Inc. will begin milling and paving operations on Princeton Road starting Monday, June 8th. The work is anticipated to take 5 days to complete, weather permitting. Princeton Road within the work zone will temporarily be restricted to through traffic except for local residents, school buses, trash companies, mail carriers, and emergency vehicles during construction activities. Should you have any question, please do not hesitate to contact the Old Bridge Township Engineering Office at 732-721-5600, extension 2302. The New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection and the Garden State Preservation Trust have approved Old Bridge Township's application for a Green Acres grant in the amount of $1.4 million. The funding will support land preservation, local park improvements, and natural resources stewardship, all aimed at ensuring high-quality, close-to-home open space and recreation opportunities for all residents. These funds will be used for the Ticetown Road Park Natural Soccer Field, proposed improvements consisting of the construction of new natural sodded fields with irrigation, lighting, parking lot resurfacing, and stormwater management improvements. Contract design work will begin in the summer of '26, and construction will start in the spring of '27. The funding is contingent upon the passage of legislative appropriation. Great job on everybody, engineering, recreation, everybody who worked on this application. And finally, the township is proud to partner with the Old Bridge Township Public Schools on the upcoming America 250 Community Celebration, celebrating America's 250th birthday. The event will take place on July 18 from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Cottrell Farm Park with the rain date of July 19. The celebration will feature patriotic artwork from Old Bridge Township students, colonial games, an opportunity for attendees to sign their own Declaration of Independence, as well as food, music, and family-friendly activities for the community. And this concludes my report.
Well done.
Anyone have a question or a comment for Anna? Except Bravo? Okay, I'll take a motion to accept.
Motion? Second.
Motion by Councilman Asatuli, second by Councilman Von Stetten. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. The administrator's report is accepted.
Okay. Next will be our public portion.
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. This section is open for any topic or items in the consent agenda. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the Old Bridge Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 3 minutes or less. Only one member of the public shall approach to speak to council at a time. The council respects the public's time by refraining from any comment until the speaker is finished with their allotted time. Should be further noted that the public comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the corresponding department's office during regular business hours. Township clerk will regulate the time during the comment portion of our meeting.
One second. Kate, go ahead. No one can hear anything. Let us speak. No, it's okay, Ann. I'm good.
As you approach the microphone, please state your name. Do not give your address.
Just resident or non-resident?
If you're a resident or a non-resident, please. Okay, ready?
Catherine Whitley, Old Bridge Lifer. I am here just to ask for your respect and for you all to listen to what these people have to say. It takes a lot to come out here and then to be told, oh, you came here for nothing. I think if this conversation was not held this evening, the result would have been very different. Does anyone disagree? Does anyone on the dais know?
How do you know what we
Excuse me, I have my time. Does anyone on the dais know how many data centers are currently in the state of New Jersey?
Ma'am, this is not a question and answer
Okay,
period. You can
John?
make ma'am,
81?
you can make your
81.
statements.
They started as conversations just like this.
ma'am.
Let's just be done with it.
Ma'am,
Yes,
do you-
I'm
do
getting
you-
to my point. Happy
You
Pride.
get your point, but-
Happy Pride. Happy Pride.
That's tremendous.
We love our community.
That's tremendous.
Pride is about inclusivity and everybody loving each other. So let's be respectful for all these people who showed up and were told that they wasted their time. Okay? Listen to them. Don't talk amongst yourselves. I'm asking you respectfully to listen to these people who are getting up here to talk to you. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Happy Pride. And go Knicks.
My name is Kendrick Pugh. I am a resident of Old Bridge. And as a first-time comer, I mean, I've never been to one of these before. And as a, starting voter in Old Bridge, I would just like to say that the conduct that I've seen here has not been up to standard, in my opinion. I've seen that the people here have disrespected the speakers multiple times. Our audience here, I understand, has barged in at some points, but I feel as though some of your responses showed very much disrespect to some of those participants in the audience. Multiple participants just want to give what they have to say here, and I feel like they aren't allowed to speak. I feel like as a community, we're not being heard. You all told us, and I will quote you all, that our vote matters and that our voices matter as citizens of Old Bridge. And I don't feel like that has mattered at all during this entire discussion. I've stood there in the back for 2 hours straight, watching as this discussion unfolded, watching all this conduct. And I mean, even amongst yourselves in your own conversations, I saw you all bickering at some points, it looked like. I don't think that as a township that shows responsibility, that shows the fiscal responsibility. I mean, not the fiscal responsibility, but you know what I mean. As a township that is shown to have such a high standard, I just don't feel that we're showing that in this discussion here at all.
So along those same, Bridget
State your
Lava,
name.
along those same lines, tell us you weren't listening without actually saying you weren't listening. I think we were, it was said by multiple members of this body that, 20 years ago, things were a lot different, right? A data center was just an alternate, business resiliency plan. It was a second, but yet you took the opportunity to say, oh, but 20 years ago, the Democrats making it political, okay? It did not need to be. People are here because they have legitimate concerns. I'm sure 10 years ago, people were told, oh, don't worry, warehouses, you'll never have to worry about that. But yet, they have them in their backyards now. And people have a right to come here and voice their concerns and be proactive. You know, one of the first things we discussed was a $4 million emergency fund for something that could have been budgeted for. And don't say the state or the county just dropped it. This is a cyclical process that happens every 10, 20, 30 years, and it should be budgeted for. It didn't just come out of nowhere. So when people come here and they communicate to you that they have a concern about anything, it is your job to listen. You might not like what we have to say, but it is your job. So to just turn it on, oh, the county or the Democrats, really just stop. It's condescending. Laws, technology, variances, things change. So again, for people to come here and try to be proactive to say, hey, this is not something that we want, there's no harm in that. So by coming here and or coming up and telling us that, you know, you came here for no reason, or you were baited here, or it, again, condescending, and you're treating us like we're stupid, and it's insulting.
Good evening. My name is Ruth, and I've lived in Old Bridge for 38 years. For the past week, I've been reading about local towns proudly proclaiming June as Pride Month and stating they are a welcoming community. These towns include Matawan, Aberdeen, Freehold, for a few. Matawan, I just drove by there. They have a big flag out. I've searched for any recognition from our town, and the most recent proclamation I could find was by Mayor Henry on June 2nd, 2022. He urged residents to recognize contributions made by members of the LGBTQ+ community and to actively promote the principles of equality, liberty, and justice. Mayor Walker and council members, are you aware that 39% of LGBTQ+ young people seriously consider suicide? And that more than 1 in 10, 12% of these same youth have attempted suicide. This is from the 2024 U.S. National Survey on the Mental Health of LGBTQ+ young people. However, LGBTQ+ young people who reported living in very accepting communities, their attempted suicide rate is less than half this rate. Mayor Walker, by making a proclamation, putting something out on the town's website and its social media page, recognizing Pride Month, on the electronic sign outside the town hall, maybe a few little flags, you may be saving a teen's life. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what color you are, or what political party you support or don't support. Saving a life is of utmost importance. You could be white, black, Hispanic, Asian, from Australia, from Native American, and be gay. You could be Catholic, Episcopalian, Protestant, Jewish, Muslim, Hindu, Baptist, and you could be gay. And if you could think, Mayor Walker, that if you do this and make a proclamation and put it out in that little newspaper that we get in the mail, you might be saving one child in our community. And saving a life, to me, is the utmost of importance. Thank you for listening to me.
Pretty tall, my bad. My name is Kaylee Henry. I am the Ecology Director for Climate Revolution Action Network. My whole fight for the past 3 months has been taking down data centers or proposing ordinances to different municipalities for them to pass and ban data centers. That is why I'm here tonight. I had a few people from your community reach out to me to come here and learn about what's happening in the community. Obviously, we see no proposals, as you guys have said throughout the night, but the reason why people have shown up here tonight is because they are very adamant on not having data centers here at all, which is why this ban would just be perfect to secure your community members and make them feel more secure in their homes. That's why we're here tonight. I've taken down 5 data centers so far in the last 2 months, and I have also, thank you. I've also passed 15 ordinances to ban data centers. I have an ordinance. I would love to share that with you. It's very thorough. It's good. It has been used 10 times. That's why I'm here tonight. And it's just blatant disrespect that I've been seeing all night. It's really not good. I've been to so many different council meetings, and never have I seen so much bickering between council members in front of so many community members. I feel like we need to take a step back and reflect on our actions and the way that we act, because you guys are acting a little bit like teenagers and children, and then yelling at teenagers and children in the front row. That's all I have to say. If you want me to send over the ordinance, I'm happy to. Have a good night.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kai Hall. I'm a resident of Old Bridge. I had a whole thing written up, so please bear with me. I'm vertically challenged, thank you. I know that we are working on proposing a ban, but I just wanted to actually present some facts, since we only cited an article from 2007. In just March, this past March, NJPP, New Jersey Policy Perspective, released a report. It was called Fool's Gold, the Hidden Cost of AI Data Centers for New Jersey. I recommend that you all read up on it and actually educate yourself on the facts. Because in 2025 alone, data centers accounted for nearly 70% of the increase in utility demands for New Jersey residents. This report also found that a typical AI data center uses as much energy as at least 100,000 households. We cannot afford to put more unjust financial burden on New Jersey residents. So while they also try to claim that there's an economic benefit, all the jobs, the high-paying jobs, are from people from out of state. It offers nothing economically for our residents. On top of it, the most dangerous is an impact to our human health. Data centers have nonstop humming, as we've all discussed today. This has also resulted in a plethora of lawsuits across the U.S., including most recently Cumberland County, New Jersey, where residents filed a class action lawsuit in federal court due to the constant humming noises. Data center operations rely heavily on fossil fuels, which emits air pollutants such as nitrogen dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and volatile organic compounds. These have all been directly linked to asthma, lung cancer, respiratory ailments, and higher risk of cardiovascular disease, cognitive decline, and early death. I understand we're voting for a ban, but we need a full lifetime ban, because if any of you support this, you are going to be responsible for the deaths. You care about our future, you will make sure there's a ban. Also, I don't understand why we have to keep talking about respect. You tell us you want us to be respectful to you. It works both ways. This is America. We still have free speech. Do not tell us what we can and cannot say. And Mayor, you should do something about making an announcement about Pride. How dare you not include the LGBTQ+ community? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Natalie Flyzak, pronoun she, they. First, I would just like to give kudos to Councilman Merwin. I really appreciate you putting forward like a preventative piece of legislation to keep data centers out of Old Bridge. I think that was an amazing thing to do, and I really appreciate it. Next thing I wanted to do is just promote that there's going to be a Pride Disco and Organizing Fair in Old Bridge at the Old Bridge Civic Center this Friday, 6 to 9 p.m. It's completely free. There's going to be food, dancing, whatever you want. There's a sign up as well I can hand out. The next thing I would like to say is that if you want to increase the tax revenue of Old Bridge, maybe cancel the 20 to 30 year pause on property taxes for the warehouses that were built. Maybe that'll increase our tax revenue. And lastly, Mr. Asatuli, if you continue to speak to your constituents with disrespect like you are their father and they are your teenage daughter, you will be voted out. That's it.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jo Milo Russo. I just wanted to personally thank Councilman Merwin for bringing up the topic of AI data centers in Old Bridge. I don't think, we wouldn't be here if this conversation wasn't started. And I think that I'm actually really happy to see so many faces here. And it fills me with joy to know that people are doing their civic duty. You want to encourage, votership, and then tell us that we're here for no reason. So that really, makes no sense. I have prepared some things to say. I don't want to reiterate the environmental effects of our community and the absolute drain of our resources and utilities. But I do want to bring up, which I don't know what the speaker before me brought up, the tax abatement of the Central 9 Logistics Park. I think there's a lot of questions about that whole development in general. Obviously, if there was going to be any any AI data centers, they would likely be there. So I just want to know, I think a lot of us are here because we see these properties being popped up in our community almost out of nowhere, right? And they're built up against, my aunt lives in Glenwood apartment complex. I visited her. I was astounded to see these massive structures along Glenwood Drive, So to my knowledge, something like this has not happened before in Old Bridge, where 600 acres have been swallowed up by private entities, private companies, and we don't know what's going on, right? So I think we, as the residents here, we deserve a little bit of transparency about what type of businesses are being operated there and the revenue, as well as who are the who is investing into these properties, because the revenue will not meet the community if there's a tax abatement of 30 years. And our population is growing. We're building more retail, but yet our taxes are the township taxes are going up, and we're closing another school. I don't understand how can we sustain a community like this where we are popping up more wooden box tract housing with more children and closing schools? I really don't understand. Our roads right now, are a disaster. I don't think you people understand. No one's really looking at me, but our roads are a disaster right now. My 75-year-old mother does not want to drive because, and I've witnessed it myself, elderly drivers on the road sandwiched between tractors, trailers, and construction vehicles. And this will not stop, and this is not only on Route 9, this is on 516 and other.
Thank you.
Okay, so I just would like to say we need to.
Please stop. I have to.
Okay.
You have to.
I have more. I'll be back.
Thank you. Good evening.
Excuse me, I have an impediment. Daniel Majewski is my name. So I just wanted to say that with Councilman David Merwin, what he mentioned with the pros and cons with the data centers and all this stuff, we talked a lot about what the cons were, and I want to just reiterate with the pros what you mentioned about the money, right? But we need to ask the money for whom, okay? And it's not really for Old Bridge. You get a little bit of tax benefits as a result of this, but you need to you need to account for the fact that the home values and other, other revenue as a result of putting a data center into place, causing the home, everything. Other revenue is going to decrease as a result of putting in a data center, which will basically cancel out any of the benefits. So there's really not a lot of benefits at all, if you think about it in that point of view. And in terms of who is actually benefiting, it is the investors in these massive AI companies. It is these technology companies that are benefiting, in the most part. I'm a software engineer, and I understand that these things are being made because they want to replace jobs. That's what it comes down to, the fact that they do not think that labor is a cost that a business should even bear at all in the first place, which is insane if you really think about it. And honestly, those that are opposing a ban on the council, you assure us that it's impossible for for it to even occur in the first place. But so why even have a ban? But as other people, in the room, what they have mentioned is that these things are basically stuck in at all times in a lot of towns. And what might be a zoning rule right now can obviously can change very easily, can have a I forgot what it was called, but an override. You can get an exception put for zoning. And so that's really not, that feels a bit empty, if you really take that into account. And by the way, so we can build up, attach a nuclear reactor onto, these massive things, but we have to worry about a natural gas leak potentially happening too. So it's which one do you really support? A sustainable energy system or natural gas? I mean, those things, you can't hold them at the same time. So anyway, I yield my time. That's it. Thank you.
Hi, Teresa Burns, resident. I do want to make a couple comments, and then I have a few questions. But also, it's hot in here, right? Am I the only one? Okay. Thank you. So I heard a lot about AI and the tech, and I'm not really great with tech, but from what I've seen is that it is inconclusive science on whether or not there is a correlation with data centers and miscarriages. So I'm hoping that you guys follow through with that ban until there is some type of scientific evidence on what happens with that. I'm grateful for the comments from the Parks and Rec Department on their commitment to making sure that all the children have access to after-school programs and that the seniors are also looked out for. Everyone deserves to be part of a community and live with dignity. I also have a question about the open space tax. If the vote doesn't pass, when will it be placed back on the ballot or would it not? And then it was mentioned that the mayor is a safety director. Is there reports given or anything like that? And then my last statement is Happy Pride Month. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is John Hsu, HSU, former resident of Old Bridge. I'd just like to express my support for a ban for data centers, and I appreciate Councilman Merwin for bringing this issue to the forefront, and I also want to acknowledge what Council President Mary Sohor said about not making this a partisan issue. Let's not make it a partisan issue. Let's make it a issue to benefit all residents. I think that's good. That's a good approach. We've seen some issues with the council today. I don't want to talk about that right now. And being in the forefront, being ahead of the game, I think that's important. We don't know what situations will change down the road. We've seen so many townships where the data centers was forced upon them, and I think being proactive with this ban, it's a good idea. I just want to talk about the Northeast supply, the pipeline that's going to go under the Raritan. It recently passed the Thailand Council, which is a department under the NJDEP. I'd like to say that right now there's a chance to stop it. Mikey Sherrill can stop it. So I encourage people to call her office, 609-292-6000. You could make a very quick comment. It could be 5 seconds. Say you oppose the Nessie pipeline or the Northeast supply. And issue with that, well, the settlement, it's been denied. The water permit's been denied 3 times already. Issue with that is it's going to pollute the Raritan even more. Well, this is the cleanest the Raritan's been in hundreds of years. And the sediment underneath the Raritan is going to be dredged up, and we want to avoid that and make things worse for pollution and the water. And we see what's happening right now with Keyport, with their cancer cluster, with things that are happening right now. So let's avoid those negative health effects. And lastly, I just want to talk about the healthcare, this a little bit. Different topic, but there is a state bill. Let's see. S426, and that would expand Medicare to all residents. There's already 9 senators co-sponsoring this bill. We all know that actually universal health care is actually cheaper for the population than the private health insurance. We are the only developed country in the world that does not have some sort of universal health care. We pay twice the amount per person than the next country.
Thank you so much for your comment.
Okay. My name is Mariah. I came in regards to the environmental issues, but I stayed in regards to the way you guys behave. I want to know if you guys are 5 years old, because that's how you act, and it's really embarrassing. You guys have children, your parents, and a lot of young people are here today, and a lot of us know your kids, and your kids are really sweet people, and when you come up here and you act the way you act, you tarnish your kid's name. So I want you to remember how you're behaving affects your child. Please have some decorum, okay? Second of all, you guys, we have the opportunity to vote these people out. We cannot let them sit up here, argue with each other. We cannot let them sit up here causing chaos, saying that we're uneducated, and then not even knowing what the topic is about or whether there's an upstairs or a downstairs to an AI data center. What are we talking about here? You cannot continue to call us uneducated and not know what you're talking about. You cannot do that. It's embarrassing for how you guys behave. You already went viral one time for saying some outlandish stuff, right? Do you want that to happen again in 1 year? No, right? You're shaking your head because no, you don't want that to happen, right? You're embarrassing us. Please stop. Please stop arguing with each other. Take it to the private rooms. Have these conversations behind closed doors, because you can see more and more young people are coming, and we're noting how you guys are acting, and we're gonna take our asses to the poll booth, and we're gonna vote your ass out, because the way that you're behaving, Anita and Mr. Asatuli, the way you two behave on this board is absolutely ridiculous, and you could sit up there and grin like John Pork, but it's absolutely embarrassing how you guys act. It's embarrassing. And thank you, Mr. Merwin, for bringing this topic to the board today. You guys are pathetic, and honestly, this is why it's so many young people leaving, because we don't want to deal with this. We don't want to deal with you. This is why Old Bridge has no money, because we're not giving you our time, we're not giving you our money, and we're not interested in staying here. Look at how you act. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Garrett Tassio, and originally I was here to kind of protest the AI data center, but I need to redirect that because the behavior that I've seen from 2 council members specifically is absolutely disgusting. I remember a comment where someone specifically had said, "Oh, you're not that tough." I'm sorry, is that a way you talk to your constituent? Is that a way that you talk to people who vote you in, to borderline threaten them, say you're not that tough? I don't understand, quite frankly. Oh, you're shaking your head at me like you agree. Okay, then why did you say it? Anyways, I would like to digress. I am very much against the pipeline that some of you are for, that will tear through my community in the Raritan Bay. Very much against that. It is not a definite that needs to happen, Dr. Anita. It's not. Thank you. You said that it was necessary, no? That it's just a necessary that needs to happen? You're here to destroy, my community, but when it comes to protecting public land near your community, you're against it. Okay, sure. All right. Thank you. I conclude. Happy Pride.
Old Bridge resident, Freshta Tayyib. Good evening, respected members of the City Council, Mayor, and Township administrators. I'm here to follow up on the discussion from the last meeting where a resolution was brought forward for an anti-Islamophobia, anti-Semitism resolution, but unfortunately there was no response or clear action taken. Since then, that resolution has been strengthened and expanded based on the conversation that was had and based on a lot of the input that was given. It is now an anti-all-hate resolution because hate cannot be addressed selectively. It must be addressed in all of its forms against all communities without hesitation or exception. This change matters. Our community deserves leadership that is clear, consistent, and willing to take a firm stand when harm and discrimination show up in any space we share. We are asking the council to acknowledge this revised resolution, to please review it seriously, and to move forward with action rather than silence. Last but not least, thank you so much for agreeing to pass an ordinance banning AI centers and looking out for our vulnerable populations. Good evening.
Hello, my name is Lauren Surzan. I've lived here since 1984, and we love Old Bridge. Good evening, Mayor, council members, and residents. I'm here about the data center. It's a 24-hour industrial operation that never shuts down. Virginia has become the testing ground for America's data center. Residents have been reported constant industrial noise, sleepless nights, vibrations inside their homes, concerned about air quality, and rising electricity cost. Data centers operate massive cooling systems, industrial fans, chillers, substations, backup generators around the clock. Noise levels can range anywhere from 96 decibels, far exceeding the safety threshold of 40 decibels. Thank you. Data centers require massive electrical infrastructure, including substations, transformers, high-capacity transmission systems. These systems generate electromagnetic fields, or EMFs. International cancer researchers have classified extremely low frequency magnetic fields as possible human carcinogenic based on studies shown associated with childhood leukemia. I am a breast cancer patient going through treatment. I've been surviving for a year now. I don't want one of these to come near my home. I pray. Now, researchers in Virginia Commonwealth University found that emissions from these data centers create carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and pollutants, approximately 600,000 asthma-related symptoms for people, and premature deaths. But these facilities, they really don't belong near homes. And that's why, thank you. That's why these communities across Virginia, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Utah, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and other states are fighting back through lawsuits, zoning battles, and citizen opposition groups. The risks are too great, the benefits too small. And once this facility is built, there is no undo button. This project does not belong near homes, does not belong near families. Let's keep Old Bridge the way we want it. We love it. We love Old Bridge. Thank you.
Good evening. Can you hear me? We have to say our name, resident, or? Yes, please. Okay. My name is Mariah Kamal Wicks, Old Bridge resident since 1979. Okay, so it's a lot to unpack, so I might jump around with a few things. So one, in regards to the assessment, so I see now it's $4 million due. Is that due to the fact that we have been 40 years overdue for an assessment? Is this what we can expect going forward? Also, when I looked on the website, I saw we were pushed back to 2027, if that was correct. For the open space, I heard Mary said it would be a public meeting if the land was to be purchased, if the vote passes. But do we as residents get to physically vote during which land is actually purchased? Or is this left up to town council, planning and zoning to choose the land? In regards to the ban of AI center, which thank you for passing. First, as referenced, turning into a political thing, the data center from 2005, which had to do with data files, because we all know AI didn't exist back then, One, it was not part of a pilot program, so yes, it would have brought in tax revenue ratables. Two, the only reason it was terminated due to my research, because the developer failed to submit their survey results in time. So now going back to current AI centers, trying to come into New Jersey towns, you say the land is not conducive and that an AI, one, from what I've seen being in this town for 50 plus years, I have seen the farmland on Route 9 flipped from farmland into commercial land for 2 new warehouses. I have seen the Nike missile base, which I've known for the 50 years to be toxic. I've seen a waiver flipped in order to build on top of it. And when you think a developer won't pay what is needed to develop, a developer paid $11 million for toxic land. So please don't be dismissive of residents and think things won't happen in Old Bridge, because yes, when I started in OB, back in 1979, when we moved there from the Bronx, we had 40,000 residents. We are now up to 71,000 residents, 5.3 million square feet of warehouses who don't pay taxes. And on top of that, majority of our farms are gone. Do I still got time left? I can't see, where is it?
50 seconds.
All right, in reference to what Mark brought up about the car, I work in corporate. What we do is called mileage reimbursement. It saves them money, it's 0.68 cents per mile, because this way you don't have to pay insurance, you don't have to buy a car, which we all know. The minute you drive off the land, the car depreciates. So it saves on insurance, purchase of the car, and it comes out to a lot less. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Maria Kobian.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. I'm an Old Bridge resident, and I'd like to thank Councilmember Merwin for bringing up the AI data center issue. And I'd like to ask a question regarding Councilmember Rizzoli's, the mayor's car thing. How many times has the mayor, during her tenure, used her car for one of the safety emergency things that you guys were bringing up? During your tenure, how many times have you used your car for one of those safety emergencies? Oh, okay, all right. Okay, well, I think it's, I don't think it's that many emergencies that she showed up to. I can't imagine her showing up to a 3 a.m. house fire. And so I'd like to say it's unfair to everyone else on the board that she gets her gas paid for by the township to drive to and from work, and no one else does. So that's all.
Nina Jocknowitz. I'm not going to recapitulate what was said previously by people other than the fact that I look forward to the board being kinder and gentler to our community, because it's important that you are. So I kind of find myself in an unusual position right now, because finally, AGB and I agree on something. Open space is really important here in Old Bridge, and I want to provide one correction to a misstatement that was said. In 2010, the Old Bridge voters unfortunately voted to reject the proposal to continue the open space. It was not the people on the dais. It was unfortunately the voters. But I'm going to go beyond that. It was not Jim Phillips. It was not the Democrats. It was the residents. I certainly hope that this will not be the case this November. I do hope in November the residents of the community do understand the need for us continuing open space here in town. The $30 a house, I'd be happy to pay for a few houses if they can't afford it. By that said, but that also brings me to a different point in discussion here tonight. I have been asking for almost 5 years now for you guys to finish up the negotiations on the energy consortium, which would be lowering our bills here, our electric bills here in town for all the residents. We voted on that. It was a popular vote, and the community asked you to do this negotiation. Now, I have been asking for quite a bit of time for you guys to give me an update, or give our community an update, and for you to complete this. I don't know what's taking so long. I know that I've asked for meetings. They said this year, they keep saying they're pushing it off. I'd love to have them. You know, you say, oh, come in, have a meeting. Well, it's never happened. I wonder why. So I would appreciate if you would provide us with an update on the contract, when it's going to be done, and in the next council meeting. I am so sorry. I got lost in my energy. Sorry. I'd appreciate if you come in with a clear plan, real timeline. Our residents deserve this courtesy, and by the majority follow-up, and for you guys to follow up on this. Okay? By the way, for the mayor to have a carte blanche, I don't really think it's necessary, because you don't direct the fire, the police, or the ambulances in town. So you can do just what everybody else does, come to town, pick up your car, and go to the event, the emergency. By the way, I don't know if any of you remember it, some people may not, but Gene McCullum many years ago used to ask us in debates, what are you going to do on the dais to stop the bickering? You guys don't seem to be following his direction. I know, Mary, you remember, Gene. I do. I would appreciate if you stop the bickering, yawning, gaslighting, ignoring the community. I think we all do. And by the way, a reminder to you folks, you are all invited to our Pride Ball we're having on Friday, this Friday here in the Township Center. It is free of charge. There will be, I know, there will be
That's it.
music.
Thank you so much. Next. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's waiting. Good evening.
Hi, I have two things to say. First off, oh good, I'm much taller. First off, what I think Merwin did on social media, I don't think he was trying to say a dog and pony show.
I'm
I
sorry,
think
can
that,
you just state your name for me, sir?
Oh, Zach Comer, I'm a resident. What I think Merwin was doing on social media, I don't think that he was trying to rile people up. I think that this is an important discussion to have in this town. Secondly, I don't think that it's right to bring up a discussion from 2008 and bringing up Democrats and Republicans about that. A data center in 2008 is so much more different than an AI data center today. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kelly Tassi. I'm an Old Bridge Township resident. I don't know if this is the right word, but how about we put a variance forward for the elderly in the community and the disabled vets when it comes to housing, when you're drawing up the contracts, that they have to follow certain procedures and standards, because I think it's very important to give back to the seniors in this community and the disabled vets, because without disabled vets, we wouldn't be here. And hopefully we'll all be seniors one day. So instead of going back and renegotiating contracts, it takes away time and money and, everything comes undone. I think, why don't we set the pace for taking care of our elders now and our disabled vets going forward? And happy Pride, and my son is very tough. You have no idea how tough he is. Thank you.
Good evening, Dan Ergo, Old Bridge resident. Mayor Walker, thank you for your service. First of all, I was not offended by any of the actions by the council because I sat here like an adult, quietly, listened to discussions, and spoke now where I'm allowed to speak. So, yeah, and I think it's abhorrent to bring up council members' children. I think it's disgusting. But what I want to talk about, I'm going to get off the AI data centers. I want to talk to you tonight about the man Democrats in our district chose as their front runner for the CD12 congressional seat. But first, let me be clear about who we're dealing with. The blind sheikh, Omar Abdel Rahman, was the spiritual leader of Al-Jama al-Islamah, a radical terrorist organization. He was the mastermind behind the first World Trade Center bombing in 1993. 6 Americans were killed and over 1,000 were injured. And District 12's new Democrat nominee was his interpreter. But it doesn't stop there. Dr. Hamaway was a defense witness in court. He also helped the blind sheikh at press conferences and talking to media. He once said, quote, "He was an old blind man who needed services, so we volunteered to help him," end quote. Dr. Hamaway also said once, quote, "He didn't always speak death and destruction. He sometimes spoke other views," end quote. So according to Dr. Hamaway, our possible next congressman, as long as you don't speak death to America all the time, you're A-okay in his book. Not only that, he went on to work for a nonprofit, which was proven by national intelligence agencies was a front for Al-Qaeda, funneling money to Osama bin Laden. And now he's taken endorsements and campaigned with people like Hassan Piker, a radical extremist who has said America deserves 9/11, and who, when talking about Republicans, said, and I quote, "Kill them, kill those mother effers, let the ground be soaked with their red capitalist blood," end quote. So my question goes to Democrats in our district. If you're willing to my question goes to residents in our district. If Democrats are willing to put this type of person in Congress, why would you ever think for a second that they care about you? And my second question it was going to go to both Democrats on the council, but Sai's not here. Mr. Merwin, Do you endorse Dr. Hemingway for Congress after hearing all this information? And how do you justify putting him as the representative in our United States Congress for your constituents? Thank you.
Hey, listen, that's it. That's it. Enough. Hey, listen, someone's got to do something because we can't have this here. You know, stop one moment. You want two-way street and you're screaming and yelling. Ask them to leave next time. That's it. No, you want to scream, you want to yell, you want to go from the background and you talk about us? We're doing it because of you. You do that again, they got to ask them to leave. Please ask them out. Act like adults. Enough.
You're the president.
Sorry, ma'am. Go ahead. Please speak. You have your time.
My name's Chelsea Piazzio. I'm a resident. This is me and my son's first attendance here. We're pretty new to the town. Came with just an open mind, no agenda, no real plan, just wanted to learn about each of you, learn about what we were talking about this evening. I feel like I learned a lot, not just about all of you, but also about our town. Not necessarily the act that I wanted to follow, but I was really taken aback. This isn't a reality show, right? There is a way that we are supposed to conduct ourselves that is productive. This time took so much longer than it should have. This was my son's first experience in local government, and I was really looking forward to it being a positive experience. And the way everyone, I feel, behaved was not very bipartisan. It was not very full of community, and that really hurt to see. And I just wanted to give my thoughts on that and hope that everyone can reflect. Everyone here is passionate, and it's beautiful that everyone showed up about things that they are passionate about, and that should be rewarded. And I understand that all of you have to deal with us on a regular basis and that it can be difficult. And at points tonight, it felt like Parks and Recreation a bit. And I appreciate, your patience through this. And I appreciate our town's patience and everyone showing up today to talk about things that they care about. But again, right, we want to make sure that we're working together, and we don't do that by shouting over one another, shouting at each other, speaking aggressively, and being unkind. Thank you.
My name is Antonio Carvalho. I'm a resident of Old Bridge for nearly 40 years. I'm born and educated in New Jersey. When I was a kid, I got to work in the greatest and largest premier data centers in the world, Bell Labs and Lucent Technologies, right here in New Jersey. They didn't make noise, they didn't use water, and we didn't have the power supplies that we have today, okay? If everybody wants to demonize data centers, they should give up their phones, because there's literally thousands of data centers in New Jersey. We could start with the government. We could start with all the pharmaceutical research companies in New Jersey, all the office buildings. We can go outside here today and shut down that cell tower, because that cell tower has a data center right at the bottom. And it uses so much compute power that it has to have a chiller right next to it and a battery backup for your convenience. Everybody, you want to be something? Give up your cell phone. Gladly. Give it up.
All right, here we go.
I don't see anybody doing it, though.
Okay.
Okay? Sorry. So now, we'll start with the government, but I want to keep this government, because remember, you just gave us nearly a 2% reduction in our property taxes. And when you did the warehousing and the golf course and the shopping center you gave us, that stopped nearly thousands of homes from being built in Old Bridge. That we already got millions of dollars taken out of our school system from the state. The county raised our taxes 23%. Okay? I wouldn't mind having one of those in my backyard. I don't have to listen to my neighbors. That's long-term storage you put there. You don't have traffic going. And when I used to work at Procter & Gamble, you have trucks coming in and out. Okay? That was fantastic. Not only did my taxes go up $1,000 because we have to make up the shortfall for the school, but that would have been thousands of dollars more on our taxes to make up the shortfall, to put those kids through school, because everybody keeps taking their money out of Old Bridge. Okay, so before you demonize data centers, remember there's not a single one of you that don't work for a company that doesn't have a data center. Data center is a fancy word. All it means is a building with computers. And if you want to get into the AI already, Elon Musk already spread the word that we can't have AI turned on because it would kill us in a heartbeat. All we're getting is fancy programming, indexed data. I'm an old guy. I've been doing this for years in the IT industry. Don't demonize things. We're burning books here. Old Bridge should not be known to be burning books because what comes after burning books is deadly. That's all I got to say. I want to thank you very much for keeping my taxes down.
I'm not sure what town he lives in, but okay.
Old Bridge. I lived in Old Bridge over 40 years.
Me too.
It was chicken coops and farmland.
Okay, so it's my time. I'm Jessica Nugent. I know some of you up there. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the ban. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to continue to post on Facebook anything I hear from anybody, because that's the beauty of the First Amendment, right? I'm allowed to do that. And I really got to give credit for all the young people that came out. That's the future of Old Bridge. That's who will vote you back in, right? So the second I hear something, I'm going to make a nice little sheet and I'm going to put it on Facebook, because I was the one who did all of that. So, but thank you. I really appreciate it. I thank you, David. I thank you, Eric. I know who voted not to ban it, but thank you.
Good evening. Oh, sorry. Is this on? Yeah. Sorry. Good evening, Mayor Walker, distinguished council members. My name is Vincent Giasulo, and I am a lifelong resident of Old Bridge of 22 years. Born and raised, proud of my town. I love my town. I love this state. I love this country. I wasn't originally going to speak. Can I take the microphone off, by the way? Okay. Thank you. I wasn't going to originally speak tonight. Sorry, but until I saw the lady that came in with the kid, she had said something that really inspired me. This is really in attention to the audience that was constantly shouting over the town council. I thought it was extremely disrespectful of the audience to do that. And there were some people that had opinions in here that did not fit the narrative of the audience. And that gentleman was booed as well. And I think that this really reflects the polarization of the country within the last couple decades or so. And that child really like hit home, because she had said that it was his first experience of government and she wanted it for him to be positive. So I'm assuming this was a very negative experience for him. No thanks to the audience. But let's say this child sees another meeting like this and another meeting like this and another meeting like this, and the child is eventually going to get notice a negative pattern, and people like that are going to be deterred from getting involved in public service or politics. And that's really all I have to say. Thank you and have a great night.
Shannon Fumananti-Amas, Old Bridge. Thank you, Mr. Merwin. First off, when you guys do put the levy on the ballot, if you could just consider specifying that it's going to be the $30 a year, so that people know that for sure. So it's not a question, because if they just see levy, they won't know what that's about and maybe vote against it. Also, I just had a question and I don't you answer afterwards. If we're doing this ban, which is phenomenal, can, in the process, while you're still making this paperwork, can people put in paperwork for applications while that's in process? So that's what I want to know, because that's a possibility then. And then also, I just also wanted to say, I'm going to back up the Facebook posts also, because this is how we communicate. This is how people get to know things, and we're putting the word out there, and people showed up, and that's what's going to happen. Thank you.
Hi, Joan Hodanowski. I live in Old Bridge for 48 years now. First, I want to just talk about the open space. I just want to know, well, I'm not even asking the question. I'd just like to state that when you buy a properties, buy all different parts of the town so that one part of the town isn't like a country club and the rest are all like factories and cities. Let's do, disperse it around the town. Lawrence Harbor, South Old Bridge, Matawan, whatever we're going to save, let's save it all over Old Bridge, not in just one section. The data center, the noise, there are a lot of children in Old Bridge. I see it through the school because two of my grandsons have autism. There's a lot of kids with autism, anxiety, ADHD. And if that buzzing is going on, they don't like any noise like that. So what are these kids supposed to do? Sleep with their earphones on because there's too much vibration and noise? Or go outside and not be able to play, or possibly get hurt going outside riding their bike and they have earbuds in? We got to really look at that. There's not enough research to put to put that in Old Bridge. We don't know all the outcome. Everybody went on Ozempic, and now you find out how bad Ozempic is 2 years later. So let's just pay attention to that. As far as the town council goes, I've been here with Mayor Cannon and Azzarello, Owen Henry, and I don't even remember who else. There was bickering, but not what I saw tonight. I haven't been to a town council meeting in probably over a year, but it got to stop. And, every month I watch it on TV. I hate even saying it, but she really makes comments to everybody. So I think we have to, it can't be political on everything we're voting for. It can't be the Democrat. The Democrats wanted it in 2007, and now the Republicans want it in 2026. It can't be that way. It has to be for the welfare and benefit of the whole community. It's almost like you want to say, who drank the Kool-Aid that's doing this, that they don't want to look past their political party and are not looking out for the benefit of the town. And the last thing I'm going to say, seriously, is the car. My husband was a volunteer fireman. He became deputy chief for years. He was chief for 4 years, and he went to work for the Board of Fire Commissioners. We always had a car. Doesn't mean he used it to go to the Freehold Mall or to go to Middlesex or go to the movies. He used it for when he needed it. And for her to take a car, to go to a fire, yes, she's not directing the fire company or telling somebody how to extricate somebody out of a car, but she's there for the family that is now in stress over it. So for her to have a car parked in front of her house, it's so ridiculous to take that away from her when it's sort of, if you're saying this is volunteer, I lived volunteer. My husband, we joined the fire company in the first aid squad in 1983. He was a fireman and on fire inspector until he died in 2011. We always had a car in front of the house. We didn't use it for anything else. Oh, I'm sorry, my time is up. Okay.
I didn't intend to be the last speaker. I just didn't want to stand in line. I'm Kathy Reek, and proud Lawrence Harbor resident. I appreciate this meeting. I think it's really good to give the people their voice, hopefully not such rowdy terms. But I think personally for me, I need more transparency about what's going on in my community that I want to support and I want to stay here. So possibly if I don't know, newsletters, flyers, something coming out somewhere, somehow, to let us know a little bit more about these amendments rather than having to read them on the website and try to decipher all the legalese. It would be helpful for a lot of us, I think. I'm really amazed at how many young people were here today. When I was that age, I think I just hid in a corner and just didn't know what was going on. So I'm glad to see our future wanting to get involved. To the point of open space, just remember that we're the garden state, not the warehouse state, please. And as far as Anna and the senior housing, I have just a point to bring up to that. if that apartment complex is going to be going through massive renovations, will that expense be incurred as an additional rental charge to the residents? Otherwise, they're not going to be able to afford to stay there if their rent is going to be increased to cover the renovation costs. Thank you all.
Close it.
Okay, seeing no one else, I will now close public portion, and we'll go on to council comment.
Motion to close.
Okay, yes, I need a motion to close.
Moved by Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg-Trauer, second by Councilman Von Stetten. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the public comment portion is now closed. Council member comments? Councilman Asatuli.
Sure. Good evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. I'm glad we can have a conversation, and that's what we're supposed to do. So hopefully, when we leave here, we can shake hands and move on. But I want to address something, and that's the growing level of hostility and rhetoric we've been seeing at these public meetings. Time and time again, people come here and on social media and throw around labels like, you're a racist, you're a fascist, you're a Nazi, a white supremacist, we need to get rid of him. I have receipts. These are serious accusations. I have screenshots. They shouldn't be used casually against people simply because they disagree with you politically. We condemn hatred, violence, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, homophobia, racism, and political violence in all forms. I am very passionate about that. But we should also recognize that constantly demonizing our neighbors and our elected officials creates division and fuels anger much more than solutions. Think about it this way. If you're invited to someone's home and immediately started calling their family Nazis and fascists without even knowing them, most people would find that offensive and extremely disrespectful. Yet some people come to the meetings and on social media and do exactly like that to people on the dais, and it's not cool. The residents of Old Bridge deserve better. They want us talking about public safety, affordable housing, responsible development, quality schools, infrastructure, parks, taxes, and making this town stronger and more prosperous. Those are the issues that affects people's daily lives. Instead, too much time is spent on personal attacks and national political arguments that have nothing to do to solve local problems. You see, ladies and gentlemen, respect goes both ways. It's a two-way street. If we want unity, we need to stop assuming the worst about one another. We can disagree strongly on policy without questioning each other's character or labeling people as enemies. We need, and that's including me and everybody here, the temperature needs to go down. That is why tonight I had to stop it. You don't have to yell from the background. You don't have to talk about people's children. Yeah, you don't do that. It's not cool. People have families up here, daughters, sons. Not cool. On this dais, I don't think anyone, and I will speak for everyone myself, not a single person on here from this dais has ever said anything about any of you from here. Let's focus on solutions, ladies and gentlemen, not insults. Let's focus on making Old Bridge safer, stronger, and more affordable for the people that live here. Ladies and gentlemen, P.S. Based on the rhetoric that goes on, people are dying. We're labeling people, and people get hurt. We see it. We've seen so much political violence. For what? You have the freedom to be who you want to be in this great country. No one stops you from becoming the best version of yourself. Nobody stops you from going after your dream and living the life that you want. That's what the best thing about America is. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I promise you, not a single one of us on this dais will stop you from having that life. I yield my time. Thank you.
Councilman De Palma.
Thank you, Kate. I'll try to be as short as I can. Just thank the residents for coming out. This forum, obviously, things got a little bit heated tonight on certain aspects, but this forum is where you need to come and voice your opinions. Obviously, there are no deaf ears up here. We may not always agree on everything, but there are no deaf ears. So thank you all for coming out. And just for all of our students, especially our high school seniors that are graduating, good luck at graduation. I hope everyone had a wonderful time at prom. I know Sandburg had their 8th grade dance last night. They were picking my daughter up at the dance at the Grand Marquis. I felt extremely old. So, but thank you, Mark, for telling me I'm old. But I think it's a wonderful thing, all the stuff that we have going on with the students. So high school graduation coming up, as well as our Sandburg and Sauk students, as well as our Catholic school students. Good luck. Have a wonderful summer. And finally, let's go Knicks. Thank you.
Councilman Merwin.
Yes. First, I want to thank the fellow council members that listened to the public today and they voted for the ban on to put the data centers up for an ordinance, which we'll vote on in the public in the future. It was not banned today. An ordinance has to be made, and there'll be a couple of meetings. You have that first reading, second reading. And so keep an eye out. I want to thank the public for coming out and voicing their concerns. Now to the public information section. Hot off the press. The EPA has entered into an agreement with USAS, which is the Army Corps of Engineering, to contract for the seawall sector and for the emergency engineering design, also called remedial design, for the jetty section cleanup in the Lawrence Harbor beachfront. They've set a timeline of fall of 2026. EPA intends to award the contract for the cleanup work. The winter 2026 to spring 2027, the contractor develops work plan pending the fall 2026 contract award. And then the work will start late spring, early summer 2027, again with the caveat that depending on whether they give the contract out. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. All right.
Councilman.
Now,
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you weren't finished. I apologize.
and to that point, Anna, the community building, how we doing with that? Or we got to coexist there, or what's got to happen, or?
So the Cheese Creek project, the Jetty Creek that you're mentioning, that's by the police substation.
Yeah.
So that's where they're going to be stationed. We've met with the Army Corps of Engineers several times with Nicole Shapiro. So that project is going to be there. Shouldn't affect the project that we'll have ongoing at the community center. We're going to be having a meeting later this summer to start talking about the next steps for that project. I know the original design plans kind of got put to the side because there was talks about potentially having a library on the second floor, but the grant funding wouldn't allow for that. So we're kind of working over the plans now, and we hope to start breaking ground sometime early next year as well. But it shouldn't interfere with what they have going on if we decide to start.
The next project is the waterfront in
The
Lawrence
beach
Harbor.
cleanup, correct. But the beach cleanup, we'll make sure that however it works out, either happens concurrently, so there's less interruptions in the area as possible. But if we're ready to kick off next spring on that, we'll start.
Right.
But the jetty project is going to be by the substation.
Okay. Very good. I appreciate that.
Yep.
And I just want to say Happy Pride Month. That's down.
Councilman Pasquini.
No comment, thank you.
Councilman Rizzoli.
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight. Being concerned about your property value, it's irrelevant what party you belong to. I think we're all in the same boat. We don't want anything built near our homes that could jeopardize. That's your retirement, potentially. That's your long-term investment. And Lauren, I want to wish you the best in your battle on cancer. I'm sorry. I should have addressed you first. My apologies, but good luck. That terrible disease. I wish you the best. And everybody, enjoy the rest of your summer. We're looking at finally some warm weather. And don't get caught up with all the political banter that goes back and forth. Listen, you came here for your agenda. You achieved what you had to come. We all agreed upon it. We worked together and we got past the nonsense. And feel free to always reach out to me. Anyone you speak to, I never ask you your party affiliation. In fact, when someone calls me a councilman, they call me on the phone, I tell them, call me Mark or I'll hang up on you, because we're all together in this, one community, and I wish you the best. Thank you.
Councilman Von Stetten.
Thank you. I'm going to be very brief because this has been a long meeting. So I do want to thank Matt, Parks and Recs, and the administration for working so hard to get that Green Acres grant approved for the Ticetown project. I do see some parents of some players, former players, board members. So the board I just informed them, they are extremely excited for this project. It's going to benefit a lot of kids in town. So thank you again for all of your hard work in getting those grants. I want to thank the Old Bridge Police Department for addressing a parking issue near Voorhees that a resident brought up. There's those yellow curbs by the school, and they were parking and throwing garbage in this gentleman's home. So thank you for enforcing the no parking there. We had our Parks and Rec meeting last week. Discussion was mainly focused on the Vets Park improvements. There's quite a few improvements going on at Vets Park. I took a drove over there this past weekend, and the progress is moving along very nicely. I think by July, Anna? It should be done by early July? Great. Before camp starts. Okay, way before. Awesome. And then on June 12th at 7:30, the Old Bridge Symphonic Band will have their spring summer concert over at the Senior Center. I know that conflicts with the Pride Disco that you guys are having from 6 to 9. Please come and attend if you want to see both. All different types of music will be played. I think there's some Lady Gaga music being played, along with some Americana music. So please attend. And lastly, since we're not meeting until the end of June, I want to congratulate all the Old Bridge High School, middle school, and 5th grade graduates, and best of luck in your next step in your education. Thanks.
Council Vice President, Dr. Greenberg Belli.
Yes, I wanted to mention that it was an honor to be with the Grand Marshal at our Memorial Day Parade, Joe Shafran. You really would benefit if you watch our local television and listen to his speech. I mean, for 94 years old, he didn't write anything. He spoke from his heart, and he spoke excellently, and it would be really good to see. And in that light, also, if you want to donate to disabled veterans, the individual in this area is Ken Sullivan. He's with the Fort Monmouth Memorial Chapter, and his number is 908-613-6484. So also I wanted to say that it is unfortunate, and anyone could say this is political, but this is from my heart. When their governor goes on Memorial Day to a detention center instead of a VA hospital, it is mind-boggling to me. It is disgusting and it is embarrassing. And I just can't even imagine that you don't put the people that gave us our freedoms first. People don't understand. This is the most amazing country. Why do you think people are pouring into this country? They want to criticize it, call us all sorts of names, whatever it is. But this is a country that's accepting and has opportunity. And as Darren said, it's the land of the free. Free to have your liberty, free to pursue happiness. But also you have to respect our laws. And to go to a detention center, it would behoove everyone also to read the 9/11 Commission report. Please do that. Every politician should do it, and honestly, every American should do it. It is unfortunate that we are putting the priority of illegal people, even criminals, before citizens. And once again, our governor did that. When we talked here about money, no, this affects us locally.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
This affects us locally.
Thank you.
When you take
No
$20
comments.
million for the deportation detention initiative, that's $20 million. When the schools, they took money away from our schools. This is the problem.
Thank you. You
This
can't
is-
talk over. Thank you. Thank you.
This is
You
the
can't
problem.
do it. That's the problem. That's why the kid was upset.
This is
Stuff
the
like that.
this is the problem.
That's the
When you
problem.
take away taxpayer dollars in Aldridge, that you're sending money to the state and it's being taken away from our schools. What else are we supposed to do? Where are we getting the money from? This is a real problem. Everything is connected in government. And if you don't see how it's connected, it's a problem throughout the whole state. Once again, we have a $60.5 billion budget. Giving money to do this, that's a priority. You're not thinking of your people who elected you, of the residents, the taxpayers of your state. This is a problem. And when you come here also, you have to understand, there was someone who came up about open space that was in 2010. There was an open space tax in Aldridge. That's how you could buy land. We bought land during that period with Barbara Cannon. And that was sunsetted under Jimmy Phillips. The mayor, myself, and council president, we tried to get it back on the ballot in 2010, and the residents voted down. We hope now people, when they understand, when there's land, you can't buy it if you don't have money, first of all. You can only buy land where there's land available, and you can only buy land if someone's willing you to sell your land. If not, that's like you can't take private land unless there's an agreement there. So these are the things that people have to realize. Everything is connected and there's reasons and there's laws and that's why we have to really consider it. So there's so much to talk about. And I just wish when you think about everything, the money, even from the federal government. The Lawrence Harbor beachfront's been polluted for 40 years. Could you imagine you haven't used the beach? I fish in Atlantic Highlands. You think the fish just stay in Atlantic, like in that area? They go down there. So if it was such a big problem, why'd you wait? Well, you could have encapsulated it. You haven't used the beach for 40 years. It's a tragedy, but here's the tragedy. The federal government and our congressman, Frank Pallone, he sent the congressman there. He did not go to get us more money. Do you know they're giving $30 million to Perth Amboy? Maybe you can talk to him, Councilman. I'd appreciate it if you did. They're not giving that much to us to clean up. It's going to be a burden on us, the taxpayer, again. So there's so much to pay for, but there's so much that you have to know to think about. Everything is connected, and we want the best for the residents in this town and everyone. And we have been called a lot of names. It just rolls right off me. It doesn't bother me. I still have to do my work. I still have to do what's right for every resident of this town, and I will do that. So I want to thank you for coming tonight. Your voices are heard. We do have respect for you. We don't have respect for all the craziness. And the reason why I said what I said tonight, because there could have been a discussion when everything's on Facebook. Don't believe everything on Facebook. A lot of things is fake book. You can get the information. You can call administration. There's websites you can go to. But when you say it came out like we were approving data centers, none of us had that on there at all. We were blindsided by it also. And that's why I brought it up in that perspective. I was saying also, when you look back at history, I had the history of what it was. I had to explain how it is. It's not picking sides. It's being factual. So that is what I'm doing, is being factual. So I'm sorry if I offended everyone, but all I was doing was stating the facts. So I wish everyone a beautiful beginning of summer, and I wish you many blessings for a speedy get through this. You're going to be fine.
Council President Sohar.
We'll just thank everyone for coming this evening. And I know sometimes it does become a little contentious. But when, they're saying, like, behind closed doors kind of solve it, that's not, transparency is really important. And, sometimes you do get yourself in a place and you're a little overly emotional, perhaps. But we are really, trying to do the best that we can. And it is a little frustrating when sometimes narratives are written that you're thinking, why? If we were already in I'm not saying anyone here, but just in posts that were sent to me as well. that we were already tried and everything that we were going to, do this with the data center. Not one person said, well, let's wait for the conversation and see what happens. That's what I was upset about. You have every right to put what you think, your opinion, that's fine. But just think, we wanted to have the conversation here in the chamber, so you could sit here, long as it might be, and you could listen, and you could participate. It wasn't meant for anything else. Disseminating information is a good idea, absolutely. But then when you see how sometimes it gets so twisted, you're like, why? Why can't we just say, come and we'll talk? That was what my point was. It wasn't anything disparaging against anybody. People have a right to post and speak, and that's fine. But I thought it would be better, you just put out the information and then come and listen. Don't already judge me before I even got to the seat, That was how I felt tonight. But anyway, that being said, I hope everyone has a great, summertime. Congratulations to all the graduates, and let's hope that this is going to be a good summer for all of us. Enjoy all the events that the administration has worked really hard to provide, and hopefully you will enjoy as well. Thank you so much, and you have a safe evening. Thank you.
Can we have a motion motion by Councilman Asatuli, second by Councilman Von Stetten. Roll call. Councilman Asatuli?
Yes.
Councilman DePalma?
Yes.
Councilman Merwin?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini?
Yes.
Councilman Pasquini? Councilman Rizzoli?
Yes.
Councilman Von Stetten?
Yes.
Council Vice President Dr. Greenberg Belli? Yes? Yes. Council President Sohar?
Yes.
11:04 p.m.